Yes, sir.
Never no. So Mala, any boy and me boy.
That's right.
And then no chick, and then you come out. Then I would demand, no, yes, sir.
You need normal food.
Normal food. Oh, because if you shall know better, see, I say, near that. Dikwedu. Kwedu. Banana.
Yeah, I mean, it's so for maybe over stage like I can't be 2 or 3 hours beer. As part of your warm ups, no, never be a bit more relaxed with throat near the Kwedu count. We are burning catenas and so it makes it, you know.
Okay, but my name mate.
Yeah.
Into you take Dikwedu pa now we are burning cat.
No, me Equally the woman a midi.
And no kind no crown and yellow Kwedu be man idea because Obi han any ya de tunum enye ye di kwadu ya so ye nin se ne atianete
part of the a fruits na ebuama like as a warm up.
Okay.
Or prepare. So because if you be singing for long
hours, the brofo na wo kan warm up no ne che se me ya nim ni so am so di kwadu a ne be de
o de fanasa
fanasa e pese su ade a so fanasa because o ma ka sem ya me so mo dada you say ampo
anya se eboa utrot no intino se o tonyuma acha anaso o ye bit
more MSC
unlusu voice in them.
Okay. All right. Yati you be fan say wa see fan sa ntini audio man you be fan sa. So Malano we ni year ben afi bem na we sanyon.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. Okay. And after we sa Malano was a BBM single bi maba.
There be na a part of album ye the Bible ntin ko ni near phase 1.
Okay.
Okay. No. The me have chance this year the phase 2 neighbor.
Right. Okay. And when data beba now we said and decide
the last Friday of April.
Yeah. And also be in the singles and album
no album never out straight. Yeah.
I didn't hear now you understand because I'm sure said now nearby to say no me we back and gospel there more that switch na album straight na
also will be in the style sure ebia opeso o releasing in Jumna opeso pushing no obe release no first and so album ni nyina ba
okay
obizo how be say in Jumni nyina ambra bontin na nkofo and choose in your mope
right
and you know for me you know there's phase 2 no I just want to bring the whole project out now what would you know ofa na ye oda na say una call
and phase 2 no see ubodin bi o see then Kononia.
Yeah.
I don't know where they kasa no.
Greek. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Fellowship with God.
Yeah. Okay. Yani nyame.
Yeah, fellowship.
Some.
Yeah.
Nkambom so.
Yeah.
Bien china fast that title.
Say me project no na me title of my album no. And I me in album I was just asking God say there indeed a bit me affect album now yeah no.
Okay.
And through the prayer no I got the sense that he wants us to create an atmosphere of fellowship where nembati enyum so obi obeti enyum ni bia no obetumi ni nyakopa connect.
Okay.
It's no na make your research and I'm reading aside in kononia na ekono to say a place of fellowship with God.
So obia Abia one thing won't come and then the first time MOG music near the kind dia na betimi aka fa wan kasa hono bia ebioti MOG music no odi ankasa ejina homa den senate
MOG ni de enyam yankasa media me papa de to me edi ankasa me papa de to me nana ya Aboagye yadom MOG standing for man of God and you know in the gospel industry na me pe bibia bit me am standing out amongst my colleagues.
Okay.
Once my colleagues ne Human Mercy, PCA Esther, CC Chun, Obia using din. So I wanted to do something bit me am standing out. And to research na initially na person using Nyaminipa as the name. But one of the gospel musicians Kasai Kwasi thing. So Nyaminipa de okwa bruchi abofunu to me mbo help me welcome Nyaminipa to me mbo ntino rather use man of God MOG. I'm say yeah, it makes sense. So around 2011 hono and I'm here photo shoot and I made the article about to say Nana Aboagye is no longer known as Nana Aboagye in the industry. Say I friend the MOG. and no so na ye de adwuma kaka ye pushi ya industry to me accept emoji from the beginning. Na very difficult, no be obi anim na Aboagye na ma for from me Aboagye ne ade, but so far so good no. Obi say one of friend Nanaya gospel industry man, they don't know Nanaya. It's emoji that they know. The young people know emoji, the old people know emoji. Me so for Aboagye to monaka say other friend me emoji, and you know that's how the name came about. You know,
so almost share with you now because you no share no. Not just say Nanaya Aboagye na Nanaya na da.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know. Then catch him out.
I person maybe be different. Ti enu na medinya emoji na ye ejuma besi in the brain.
And so far no as obey mu be ka say ejuma no et say ayade be ka say yes is worth your time, your while. Odon hu hye mu yi ohwe senia city wo bobo e bi ti say contemporaries and now colleagues ni bi or hima mercy cc tum PCS star ni I'm sure say Joe Metal ni omo maka wo mu nyina wo mu bi so far no say na be ka say akwama ayade a obeto akoso aye ana bi a wapa ba somewhere along the line.
Oh, adna kwaye aside the fact that there's an industry phase no, it's also a calling. Akoye frɛ anyame ase nyame de ma o de ma me se menye nti no mindu pembeso metumi aka se ofrɛ na nyame de ma me no me jaya na se mabre and I may give you up. The more difficulties eba no and I was say wo hye ho kena na to me ye adwuma no to me edi pushing nyame adwuma nyame dina assignment anya media man no ubetumi aye. So for me I won't say edine and I say embre and I say nyin shiraye once I will hear idea we need be the purpose or fulfill the purpose no, there is joy in that. So you receive gratification say enkanibeka inna minshe ona ubenya sa ahotoso say ade ami gift anyame de mame and ye nshira amansan nyina. So eno na ma metumi di kwaso ye adwuma na anyame de amame no.
So that's if bia if you know which me fidi no ato anu si asabe don kwa ba pounds ma eduonu mienu emoji music and any din common na senior medical chichi mu no na atwe ai twem no so tie ya ensem ya o tweet on social media so about more or less like depression ye be di ho enkomo na awie but ye ne shase fi ne nyom to adwuma ya wo ye as gospel nyomtuni na I mean I don't know the first time you share airport I'm say me show ni menim to me but I said okay this nice gentleman I know you so I know say I'm sure so be any issue so I say be a model na bibisa
so me say model
somebody no just say I see I build the I say unwe ho da say be a bibisa
me share down by me trim say me ye bibisa you know but say nyame de ba makwema why not obi ba na so ka say watadi bi opese me model man na say me hwem na say ade betumi fit me brand na betumi aboa na me ya na why not I'll still go ahead and do it.
So mami mbi saw say gospel nyom no saying na ba ma obi wremu obi wa otumi kan say well who dey na business and also who come man of God in that say wo twa kra manyame.
Well, and that's the core foundation. You twa kra manyame first one, but obviously you know I grew up in the Methodist church. And this year na me mama this year na afi Debia na was sorry because now obibi was sorry. And me kwa sorry ebu na kwa for no rehearse and I say singing band and I say praise and worship team no rehearse. So based on that na Debia me tie nwumre bia me tie nwum so and I develop me desire for music. I believe say metonjum and I made started with Methodist church me de tutonjuma Johnny Junior kwa Johnny praise and worship team me start say me use your instruments me to me the keyboard, drums, bass guitar, lead guitar and a trumpet, you know. So basically so and I'm a foundation to me yes me yen say business say me the pesika and me di kan ka say I so free anya me di afre me a me di yen nyame adwuma it's and am ho na say nyame di shira me di fine but yeah, we get fulfillment out of what God has given us.
But I imagine say we need the core job at might be out here.
Oh, me what other year me here.
Just saying.
Me a IT person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a system analyst.
Okay, to see no, the end I full time pa.
Oh, music,
Music now.
Yeah. So IT need the obi balance. You want to, the person wants you to consult for the person now. No quite say man. So, but we are trying to build our own company. You know, we can please can even if you are able to be the pushy music, because you see, at this I can say, you always have to fall on people's benevolence. So they want to support your music. No matter no discard but now the ejuma na say and that's a be invite you program akakra be ma no. But person me do pepe so bia me am o medjuma me sorry na me fam sika na me dey share music na me dey na me person me yema yakopon sa na person me no.
I see. So it means that I mean fans say put food on your table. It me ma on set me kwano the music.
That's right.
Well, that's very interesting. So gospel nyumtini MOG music Asia wa hanu say these are nominations unya be VGMA.
I'm saying you know sir, I think so. Say you know sir.
Say no see kan dey as ade no won hwe dan hwe nya ade we ni DH to say ABAB any DH a omo hwe no.
Me I'm sure say me I think I mean yeah. Gospel song of the year and then gospel artist of the year.
One now file na Senate.
This year I was waiting to see the information, but I'm saying me in them. So mean to me I file it for myself. So later on any information said about out to me closing, and then my manager called Chata so somebody filed on our behalf. So we don't know who filed, but I think somebody filed on our behalf. So based on what the person filed, and they didn't. But I personally didn't. I think I was involved in preparation for the new one concert. So, meant to me any information, and we are also focused on the concert so much. See any information, but somebody did it on our behalf.
And why not? Yeah,
you need to up to today. So,
but I'm sure since I also moved for a Chatter House, there should be records. Say BB will have
I think said they only to me my information, but I'll say in the system not check here no. I want say MOG music Edin room say your file nomination.
This is news to me, and well, so ni IT Hammond ni we there empacho for microphone man na me busa asem kakra because see you no empacho oh yeah board chairman now just a member of the board.
Member of the board.
Member of the board.
Yeah, member of the board.
Oh, okay. All right. Asema okay. Nya mimi ni say say artist ni file. So no file the work. But nya MOG music he can see anu chese. Was you been a file my interestingly only pa kon so file no. Was you nim as an artist. Onim so I imagine say sana essence say no tia na so obi file mo obi. Because if the artist come and say well, I am a file here, I don't want to be part of the scheme, then what would the scheme do? Nya okay saying and then chichim na betimi diama. Obi timi file ma obi senator.
Okay, artists ne management team to me file and send our we have a research team almost year background work almost supportive board no so one file cry research so one file now unyum no how
meet the calendar year na
meet the calendar year na research for no to make capture but what it is they say before the final list will come out we'll have to get your approval or confirmation before we put out the list.
Okay.
Yeah. Into a bet me about say one file, but obviously there was that confirmation or approval from his team. That is why the name will be in the nominations.
So for Nyawo Kano, the person has to be obi or a part of the management team. Is that what it is? Because
yeah, we to get the approval, no, you have to be because we can't just go and ask anybody. It has to be from.
Are
the
you
team.
saying say approval no say be amubenya to me no, and na mobile contact management no
Yes.
ana say ye be nomination
No approval no won say you be nomination say na make no
yeah
e be artist be am file but research work no I pull that artist out. So when we are doing our work, we do our work based on the nominations that have been filed and the research work from the research team. Into ye jumana, we now, for those who share documentation no more or more file, as in the artist or the management and filing no, we consult those individuals. Now, if they agree to be part of the scheme, we keep their name there. If they do not agree, we take their name out.
Okay. Mentiase, yes, Anna Mentiase, and again, I'm sure say from Common, and I think that even last week, I'm saying Robert Club, better than him saying, Mentiase, ni artist no. Say on no filing nomination. One file means say yentimi mfa work no enye adwuma.
Yeah.
So here we are. Obia file, and from what you even saying, and you no file, so it means that say me so me fee say and nesatawale ni nyum meti a year calendar year. Me so meti me file. All that scheme na say mo ya na say mobile consult to ebia the management and artists or my approval and artists no and sana opesoche.
Yes, because before you are nominated in the scheme, no, say to me approval free won't change. As in the either the artist or the management. Say to me sa approval no, and because like for example, Oka say they missed the timelines, because they were engaged, That's why we also have a research team, because the research team is supposed to research and find out works that were done in the year under review are able to meet the criteria of the award scheme. Until once a research team identify any artist or any musician, before the board finishes its work to come out with the nominations, is the duty of the board to ensure say everyone that is put out there have given their consent to the nomination. Until we would have to contact all those who share list no more ebia yenhu omo say omo file or otherwise, so that we contact them. If they agree, we keep them in their nominations. If they agree not to be, we take them out. So that is how it's been over the years.
Okay, so Chewe Mumami, I think nominations by ye di hon komo. I saw this story. Buamina senya sanachia. So just say kwabna say one file for nomination. Enti ono no de na betima kan. Is it the case one file for nomination? And research ni capture no. A capture no mo contacting or say I don't want to be part of this year's scheme. Senate.
Okay, I don't know so much about Kwabna, the filing or not, but I know, say, in our deliberations, his song and his person was in there, but obviously, if he's saying that he doesn't want to be part of the awards, then it means say you're contacted. No, that is what he said, and if that is what he said, then he wouldn't be appearing in any of the nominations. But if they got the consent and he was nominated, then he would appear.
Okay, well, so I just want to go round kakra. So critical, I'm saying till you any power. I know don't so attention. I mean, we say sa information about to just see emoji music day man. One file onim onipa kokra mpo a file nomination no. The scheme ntimi nchire no say okay, well your bintin and I assume see no file man no. But on my contact, yes, scheme na contacted the management team. On my opinion, on my approval, yes, you perceive we want to be part and you can. Tilly, me myself, Senator, is this on Tiasia or Sadi Sana Neti and information I call around so far senior make us say well media Tiasia said the person has to file in your account. Senator.
Yeah, I think some information I too say and they are both a bit contradictory because me kai pass conversation ne by na kwabna and na kwabna ka say oh no previous years no they nominated him without him submitting. And you know, on him the entire this year, Robert Clark he had to do the submission, even though say be in previous years not amount for a submit mano. And then I don't know if they have to take his approval first, but on him say now on no submit amount for a submit. It's me question is say if this is the thing now, then it means say are we saying say kwabna project no obi an submit this year and I say yes submit it but meet the criteria. That is why we're making
so two things, not just submission.
Yes,
research team knows to me capture
exactly
work no normal contact to AB artists and our management team said well you who said we meet the criteria do you want to be part you found count me and found count
it's no me question is say into kwabna the what happened? Is it that or no the high life projects now or drop here no research team name to me and capture because it didn't meet the criteria and I say Obi and nominate even though say he doesn't do it over the years no Obi and nominating and what happened with the kwabna one?
I just answered it too. I said say on the board I know his music came up. I'm saying say in the end whoever it is, whether you submitted or not, so far as our research team captures you and the board deems it fit to consider your music, we will. If you meet the nomination criteria of the board will consult you or your management team. If you give your approval, it will be in the award scheme. If you don't give your approval, it won't be nominated. So that's it.
So he didn't meet the criteria.
So him personally, in fact, I do not know because now I haven't heard it, but you are just saying to me. Say we know. So
last week I think he didn't crack us out phone so much. And now humano a carte but because Ojitu said. Obeba studio and so I'm sure said
so I wouldn't say that I can't say whether he was contacted or not. I can't say whether he refused it or not. But I know say if he says no, I don't want to be part of the award scheme, we cannot put him in the award scheme.
Say he doesn't want to be or not. Nobody contacted him because normally over the years he doesn't no submit it. It's not thinking as usual, like however process and we are needing bemuno. But this year nothing like that happened. It's not maybe say is it that we make it cut na?
No, say his artist, he also has a management. Probably the artist was not contacted. Probably his management was contacted. So I cannot speak on that one. Okay. You get me? Because he's an artist, you can contact the artist, you can contact the management. Because you expect that when you contact the management, it's like you've contacted the artist. And obviously the management will speak with the artist to find out and then they'll get back. So that's it.
Okay.
So great. Me too.
Okay. On this particular one, I want to ask a question. In terms of contacting of the artist, into Obio be file. And now my friend anase niamu be nominating no. They are two different things.
Okay. File
because before you nominate the person,
if you file, we do not have to contact you because you've given consent.
Okay.
That's the filing. If our research captures you, and you haven't filed, we have to seek your consent. That is where the difference is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you see, idea back where my drink a crown near Nikano, and number say, and ultimately a clear mind, and they say, Yenim say, baby, a criminal. Artists need be sorry. Munim film.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of the any so many issues. So scheme no other two just said. you have to file.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so by filing means send your chim. Then
Yeah.
I mean say one more consent.
Exactly.
One more two means and use.
Mm-hmm.
Until one file here, it means you person or you're part of the scheme.
Yeah.
Until you need kind about because research in the near from almost and research was capturing.
Yeah.
And artists need be sorry,
Mekai Miss Bell. Mekai Miss Bell. Yeah.
Emma gospel for no cry, baby,
Yeah.
came. Almost on be issues be about Mekai Bandex ni team will be on by like more like renegade. Almost say hey.
Yeah.
And a scheme no be so okay. Well, sad you have to file.
Yeah. You by yourself.
Yeah, Ben. Inti ni when I'm one kakra about.
But
still I research.
But Kwasi, but your meme there no senko ye clear mamia because it's a big issue out there. Say, do you call those that you've like nominated or anybody at all that you feel say, oh okay, your research team na capture you? Do you know how many the number of artists our research team need to capture?
The research. Okay, you see, I've said this earlier today, but you didn't listen.
Oh, okay.
I said, if the board considers your work
worthy of nomination,
okay, they will contact you.
Oh, okay.
So it's not everybody. No.
Oh, okay.
Because there are works, but you know when you do the shortlist, let's say we are looking for 6 songs per category.
Yeah.
You've done your shortlist to let's say 10 songs. Out of the 10 songs, you realize that maybe 7 or 4 or 3 have submitted. So you want to be sure of the others. So you call to find out whether they want to or not. And when they say yes, you now start considering. When they say no, you don't consider. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Back who before I said Arnold baby me Sadia way is it said it shouldn't be a big deal. Me and fine yasem yin sa asema emoji kind of me MCJ kakra. Obina it's not from their camp. Omunim hoshi omusi obia file. First my first question here. Don't you think that the scheme owe it to them? Why not file on your behalf? Kwasi Aboagye no file mamo. So why not file mamo?
Maza Kwasi. So
yes, sir.
So utie asemna me nua ne ka wa na. O say artist na file ya.
That be why not file mamo? Why
it could be a research team for ni bi. And edwuma ne buy no mo contact you. So the procedure
no
there's already
emoji there's only emoji mpacho uti hanum say na wa say mubusa say why not file I omentimi ancho so don't
no so no Utie Western can say it could be.
Oh, David.
Man can say it is.
You
are getting me wrong.
Okay, so mami bisa
asema make us say ti. Obisa me see me omsi omunim onibakro ye. And make us say onibakro no can say onim onibakro ye. It could be a research personal omo can be na ye. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying on authority.
Mami bisa asemo. Unim why na file ma
minim pakọ file.
So allow me to do my work.
And I'm saying sir this your kasem ebetumi your research for ni bi.
Don't speak for the scheme. Ukasa adam sisi akasama scheme.
Begin no say unim mo anti mo fair o.
Secret unim. Tie unim ade oye na eme won won. Who as an artist nyum tuni obi akọ file. You are sitting here and
you are contradicting the two statements. That's wrong. You are not getting me. Let me break it down for you. Question will be Sammy or say emoji or file and I'm saying my file because I was busy and I forgot. However, you're contacting a VGMA after you know. I'm gonna check his system. No, say Obia file me and I'll be Sam say, do you know who did it? I'm say there be on confirm post. You be say no. I'm say Omuni Pakoye. And what church you say artist now file the research team.
It can never be true. Say omunim onipako here because form no will indicate onipako or file. So you don't say
the website. You can always fill the form, but it doesn't give you the person who is the form I filled. I don't know say this your man Sanya, but form I maybe fill last 2 years. O failure it doesn't give you the opportunity to write the name of who is failing. You put in the name of the artist, emoji music, song, who put song new year, who uploaded song. No, it doesn't show say email address or so
Mpacho, thanks for exposing something for us. Me, as more concerned here. So it means that this Nchechimwa needing must say, if you file, it means that you've given your consent. So Obia Timi sorry, no actual emoji music means that you have given your consent. Sana forms now mo feeling san because it means me meet me alcohol say me try emoji music. Me natural emoji music na feeling. Then I have given your consent to the scheme. But who so ti baby nim cry now na file ni is that what it is about?
Sister we can say komna case.
Nah, that be
me embajo mani ya no.
Every once we get the document, the filing documents, the nomination filing of nomination documents from any artist or any management team, it is deemed filed by the artist. If we do not get any of such documents and our research team captures, we then will get consent from the person. It's as simple as that.
And yes, simple, sir. And yes, simple, sir. I said,
Mpacho, yeah, man, simple. Because yeah, man, simple.
the conversation has
Yeah, man, simple.
Okay. I said, ni intimi mba me bring obi enu so. Ni intimi bring me enu so.
Oh, na question.
No. I am breaking it down.
Okay. Let's break it down.
Yeah, I'm breaking it down. First, who now cheche mu say obi file here, it means that mon contact you because one man consent people.
True.
So papa will your file it. I be for
Me catch you say
Dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station. Digital and on your smartphone. Your radio is hot.
Watch on the jump on the other fucking entertainment review. And then it's over to some entertainment. I've been another entertainment review. Pressing in the bottom for us. Entertainment review. Down up over my man of fans, your man of fans, your man of fans.
Yeah, some more ready. What you mean?
I don't like controversy.
Who the controversy? I call So you are saying you don't like controversy?
No, Socrates is making a point here that
you say you don't like controversy.
I'm trying to.
Yatin your kind. Yamoji yatin your kind. Also controversy.
No. That's
I don't know who likes controversy.
Yeah. Maybe I make say about now controversy. You know I'm a boy but opa I'm a more copy me be program still I'm a Kenya say can. Yeah be can. Enti same way no. You see emoji we are artist so. And in some way na ya can. Yeah, so controversy but ya can na scheme no so no eniama atumi agina yie obia ni ayeye ina ya contribute enti se ebia me ne umomu a enka mejai na ya kan se ni aye kan ya because enna na ebia niama bia ya sa na wo hu ebia bedu brebi no because how say ye I was na insise na see the two so we na be file we between file am but obi akwa file on your behalf unim onipa akokro yeah ade no, and it is your work, it is your product. And so two things, I say research team no, and you are saying research team, they bet me about say be from the research team. Research team no medjuma omoti omo ye and say omo no be file ama for na. That is not their work. Their work is to capture the works within the year omo meet the calendar year. Yantia say was scheme no ho yes say research team should be filing for artists. That's not their work. So even that one who introduce you the BEM say okay, it could be. Who say asem no?
No. Master Kwasi, no. Asem say a system scheme na kasa o ma hye.
Scheme ade who can say una uni ma scheme no musin obi.
Ana bi ni musin obi a.
Scheme no na catch us say we no mo
he is part of the board. A system o mo kasa o ma hye. Am di adwuma.
Empacho ni
time a scheme start here the system was not there.
No file nominations ma artists. Research team, I'm not filing nomination artists.
Oh no, research team can file for artists.
Oh, you are.
Research team can determine songs that could be considered to the board.
So correct. No me and correct. Emoji man.
The case where the artist doesn't file and the research team submits the case where the research team submits a song to the board. Now artist now failure. That is when the scheme. He said it. Yeah. The scheme will contact the artist.
Debbie. What's my kind? We say a bit me about say research team. No, obi omo file here.
Just is a play of words. Yes. You know. But
I the microphone now cannot be done. What's English?
Let me say technicalities and maybe a play of words and I'm a confusion here, but regarding this filing matter, no. Mm-hmm. So I say filing for it means say research team member being alpha form and also emoji ding say that's different. Who use technical words, no? But then the research team member can say within the year under review, no emoji it didn't qualify. It's not why yet. Or the board need to consider. So when the board considers something, so no follow within her, then they can nominate.
And so there be now chimney. Say panel. Assembly say research team no major man saying they are just to capture the works. A jumana works now bano.
Who person me fa? Me fa na say
no. Oh yeah. For microphone. Yeah. Say omo major man say omo capture the works within the year. Omo the command board no say afie no. And you not the buy. That's their core job.
Yes.
And you might buy meeting calendar year no.
Yes.
But who research team no where you ma and it's all about coffee form back at
there be that is no and yes and I count.
There be papa where no and I make us say
Brofono e be a technical there be
anod there be enya brofo tie no
question pacho no nya wo kan yet yasio but ne happen here no enya ne wo kan no
papa yi say or say research team for no be bet me about say research team for no be na file here
file no e be a choice of words no but me understand. Oh, boss, the man is saying fine. Also, I need to support. Don't say.
Were you here when he was talking?
Was I not listening when I was coming?
Baif is correcting himself.
He's correcting himself.
What the case Court Campuna said, if you want to amend your statement, you are allowed to do that.
No. But you see, Niano de na ebi amending in your dream or say, Papa boy tia. And what can I say? And I always see there be on only choice of words.
No, Master Kwasi, Asema Okano, you are now picking on the words. So what you say, which clearly makes sense. So I am allowed to make changes in the words I made. Because I am not.
Okay, say a bit me about a research team for B and a file. I said,
no, Asema me say based on the. I said the category say based on Asema Okayano. A bit me about say research for B a file.
Yeah.
So. What I'm trying to I'm really trying to communicate is say maybe a research maybe emoji music mala emoji music say so yeah the board no okay board emoji music do we have emoji music on the we don't have it okay let's find out emoji music say okay so are we allowed to why not you allowed to go ahead
and where I would say Niano de Kano is not correct about words of meaning of words and they say may say and I know him, you know, you being part of the scheme. Me say research team, or call job, and you but your research team, no, when would you man me show? nitia say yes sir research team no omo adwuma ne say enwuma e ba afini nyina calendar year no mpacho enu nie no am dey akoma board no eno pe ade teacher so omo ye no unni tumi bia akoka say mpacho emoji e fi say unni
so the songs they are submitted and nobody emoji song count
Kwasi ma menka na dia ba ko ma menka na dia ne a o ka say no before nomination but who nomination no you were nominated when you saw the nomination before you did it they didn't call you asem o ka han say no
that's not what he said
no it was said on nomination
no
it was who called who did you call them or they called you
don't do that
did you call them or they called you
don't do that
did you call them or they called you
that's not what he said that's not
when
because he said when the time was past his manager called to find out. He didn't say when the nominations came out. So don't misquote.
So when the manager called and then he was told said he has been nominated and I said
there's a submission.
That's
what he said.
Okay. Arnold,
that's what he said.
For microphone now into you. Sasemi okay minim say bia wait for me emoji be kan say obi na file man no which the board has not omunchi back of file. Me feel say personally that's not how it should be.
No, that is not what it is. Me tell baby o stance na okuta sisi am. Me tell say but ebia emoji na we hu na asem ka yi because under no circumstance between you and I with our follow follow music awards research team member being who bit me file on behalf of artists. We know this. We a no brainer. So if emoji ka say or ni inquiries and catching so research team no file man we should know where he is coming from. It doesn't mean say research member be far from and also exclusively no file am emoji in. That is not what it meant.
So unimon back of file man
no the person the me no say over the period no research team like you said call job no is actually to collate and a qualify any artist qualify within the year under review no that forward them board to consider into board no the research team no and the because okay emoji qualify but the make count say so say emoji can file can based on the fencing work now research team they my board no the board will say okay although no can file no but of only within to be consider no that is what it means I mean the way all communicating no and and say technicalities and what they no but me I know what he meant
there be Arnold in person will share the other side and so
okay
the other side ni say betumi aba say no can see no correct
say research team member na file man
me busa wa same place here
I could have sat here did you file I say I me file here and all this we will be having all these conversations so I don't need to lie in the middle of the story.
I'm not saying say who cry the chantra not say oh no man of God not say chantra but Arnold
yes
assembly say share the other side
okay
there are things sometimes we hear.
Yes.
And we're talking about transparency.
Of course. And
need to have say scheme no. One of the subu man for the boys okay niama mu na honum se mu mi ehu niama. Me bisaw.
Yeah.
Need to have say as board member on country. Why ena or can say o push it through or form na say online no. Why ena or fail say okay MOD music me file for
I don't think
gospel song of the year. Who said there?
Me I don't okay ni
Debio me say boa me seriously we say ni on kire why pa no yes I dey hwan
okay
because if the scheme does not or see forms no and kire say ma unhu so ki well enti e bia Arnold uti e kra no betumi afa nyumtuni bi o say on pese okay influence obi ti say Shatawale o say okay well scheme no me pese even do amakwan me pese enti utimi fa Shatawale no afele songs no na say bia ye frɛ Shatawale management member baako na mistakenly ebi onu su nim na ogitum so okay I want to be part. Oh yeah do you people want to be part or say I am person yeah can who be the next moment be say Shatawale say men can was no why not fail form another sama be no fail man.
I don't think it boils down to everybody is supposed to fill a form. See over the period no the process of nominating you and I are very much away. artist no betumi afile, label no betumi afile on behalf of the artist. Board no so betumi consider. That is how fencing nominations no they go in. Until 2008, Miss Bell openly Becca said on award in film. And then 2010 VIP. Almost seeing your movie because according to the one cast almost shadow no album be nominated and was not supposed to be part. And they shift here and they say okay. Based on Miss Bell any VIP instance until no Sisiano artist be should then omo file. And then I know where I say a shifted to the old patch say a shifted to the old form say okay board would consider artists can nominate label can nominate you can't change artists and that's my problem I remember so with communication but the issue about Obi research team no a compile and some quality songs are qualified within the year under review normal push my board to consider no normal it's been happening it's me sure say research team member be for paper so or not or for emoji there no file my emoji. Although I understand your stance, but me understand. I don't think
I know we see loud as we say. Then
even I could see the example you gave.
Yeah.
The example you just gave about Shatawale. Also, you went on to say, and they contacted one of his team members, and he says,
yeah.
So when Shatawale now comes out to say, I don't want to, and why did you put me there? We can say because we called this member of your team, and he gave that consent. And so that is the basis why we nominated you.
Yeah, but
you get me. So if there's no consent,
no, but I'm saying say ni one so no one can say so be failure and by filing no, it means that because unless I will say filing who here, filing it say be open this particular minimum way. First of all, gospel song of the year, and gospel album of the year. In fact, by filing,
yes, by filing insanity.
Into various categories, no.
Various categories.
What the union may call him say.
Yes.
And be a share now say you feel so meet that criteria. And I will say, Sadia na mama omo yeno. And Fasua one who teach you. So it has more or less a legal backing. No, legal implication. The legal implication is say, Unya yes Sadia pe. It means that Udu Tumiama scheme no say. What finish to say Yenusu? Yes, I know Chimukano.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that we shouldn't discount filing.
No, we are not discounting filing. We are not discounting filing. And
if you are not discounting filing,
and
if you are not discounting filing,
yes.
How come say I know that someone be do Timi sorry? No, a filing ma emoji music.
No,
then,
from what you are saying, Arnold can't just get up and file for anybody.
Obey me, I should file for anybody.
No, Arnold cannot file.
Obey me.
Okay.
Obey me. Because near a filing ma emoji, say we back of file. Oh. Arnold,
I didn't
don't say only if I call filing my emoji, uni.
No, I didn't.
Or say so. You can't file. Can't you file, Arnold?
No, I didn't say so.
The form provides condition where you can write your designation of filling the form. As whether you are manager of the artist or you are a producer or
you fill the form before, haven't you? And is it not there? So I don't. That's what I'm saying. No, he said he filled. Okay.
2 years ago. I said 2 years ago. Get your facts right. I said 2 years ago.
The form several
times. The form is upgraded every year.
He said it was not there.
2 years ago.
But you can't see the name filing.
You people are speaking different languages. When be say form no failure, there's a manager portion, there's a representative of the
your failure no form.
Yes, but when also be saying
Empacho, hold on. Empacho, questions. For microphone business. Me person can say no. Say form no failure. There's a designation.
Yes.
And just say artist manager, we producer now you're saying
exactly.
Ni Empacho Sadia no this year pen am the buyer na I will hold them the data.
No, it's been there. And for all I know, every form that is filled, because we need to get
authority
consent. No, it comes. Whoever fills it must indicate who it is.
Okay. So again, it means I wadia I want to fancy the data.
For the last 5 years that I've been filling, that portion has been
It's
there. Would do what? Maybe you are doing on behalf your designation. Maybe I'm the artist manager. I'm the so and so.
So mpacho Saturday way there. Mechuma said na they say whole day the back yeah the back because the part of transparency, you know. So say mpacho nim person confirm mommy.
Okay.
So this year, do you have designation for more file yana?
I haven't seen the form this year. You get me? I'm a board member. I'm not. I haven't seen the form this year, but the form I know always have that. And if it is not on, then that is an omission that needs to be corrected because it's always been there. Ever since we introduced the form, it's always been there. And so if it's not there, then that is an oversight that needs to be corrected.
Okay. So for now, let's assume say because I'm going to go to the website, I've had production to go there and check.
Okay.
I saw the forms in the website, what I'm saying. Say no more. Why designation ban on Filima emoji music? That's the question we have to ask. I know you can get tired of me. You can't so you can't get tired of me.
No, I'm not tired of you.
Remember,
I didn't want to talk about VGM.
You don't seriously. I just like you telling me that you know you have been doing that thing. I've been telling you. When you tell me
seriously,
why are we talking about Gabru? Why are we talking about music? I said you can't get tired. We will talk about it.
Yeah.
So far as this program
I
is
even told me said I know about VGM once.
Oh, there we not going to mean
that. Because I want to be who. Yeah, seriously.
We'll put the sentiments aside, then we'll talk.
Yeah, because what can be about the facts in the building industry, the building scheme.
Definitely. Yeah.
But if you say we
forget,
I know vendetta be and I say we act any before
this thing and the
BGM
I know the Rebecca can't wait about
you understand? You see, that's not I don't Chris I didn't met on Tuesday. I heard someone say I'm being excessively difficult. Now being excessively difficult.
Which Chris?
One Tuesday, this Chris guy, Chomana.
Oh,
say me, I'm being excessively difficult with this. I mean, what kind of language is that?
Forget. That's what you said. Never be said there. You,
no. BGM in the building.
That's it. I deal with.
No, yeah, I
deal with.
That's it.
So, I deal with.
What suggestion? Be another suggestion. I will make it seem as if say me no BGM no.
Yeah.
Now, any Robert Clown. I know them about no so. I'm not tired of you, Carl. But
yeah, but me. Nam kasa o hear phone subscribe ya one so check you or you are cross checking from your team say designation or because say designation or then we should know only part of Filima emoji music. Ehun hia because it means obia say bi obia timi sori. Now I call file am obi. Now obi sorry call file am obi na fi asem ko ba. Na fi ne ba beye won. But if say designation or because sir o file a ma consent which means a very key vital yes say anani me nya adwen won say.
Oh, me know ya adwen and that is why I said say you know the forms have who filled the form. You understand me? And so if that is not on, you know, I was going online to check it, but I realized I think because the period is over now, so it doesn't give you access into it. No, but
even beyond that, Campo, I mean, I have a question mark on that.
Okay.
Arnold can go behind the machine and go and sit behind. I'm feeling on behalf of Emoji Music. Or like I'm feeling for Emoji Music. And he knows my manager's name and put my manager's name over there. Even in extension, know my manager's email. It will go into the system as Cecil Corte is the one who fills the forms. Mm-hmm. Yes or no?
Yeah.
But it's Arnold who did it. So I know Rebecca can say.
And Pacho bisa scheme for no. Because Pacho Nina can't say mem chill. Mpesa tia de asemba kwa say. Tie nyame ye no. To the good of Moan Kasamo.
No, I clearly understand.
I'm just saying that you heard the man near Ite Hamontiha or a board member, or say, so be failure. A chess would do to me. The reason why chess say, Omum Frey Binmo, see the reason why Omum Frey Binmo is because wa obe file no, which means you have given your consent. So imagine on a particular, you see, emoji, a bit me about a particular year. Not that particular year, you don't want you want to be part of the scheme. But Obiko no file it on your behalf. Ube huna work na be out, you don't want it to be part, no. Then it is now there. Then you come and tell us, no, I don't want to be part. You understand? So that's why okay, so artist name, artist email, phone number, the representative name, representative title, song, music producer, so okay, so this year but I'm say emoji music is where raise point. The point now where reason say even this one is not enough, because when you say bia obi yes ade way means say woman consent or see enough, because obi abetin akota computer chi no type kwan ba so na mo fast mo check na mo hu say okay well, because except say we say okay well, we call everybody that file the nomination, but my agent say omo a filing it there mum frɛ omo.
Yeah, so because once you filed, it means it gives consent, but based on what he said, it might mean that maybe we need to go a step further to put some measures in place.
Okay,
because I don't think any of us were thinking that somebody could do that, but I mean, it's a possibility, and he's speaking about is a possibility, and so then it means that we might have to put in a few more measures to ensure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
So yes, where my expert as a system analyst will come in. If I use email emojmusic@gmail.com to register, when I click submit, a short code must be sent to my email.
Okay.
Then I can access the email, pick up the short code,
and verify.
Come and put the short code on the system.
Okay.
So that when it verifies, it goes that I did it.
Okay.
So obi for me email, not only you need me email password.
Okay.
Between that, you know, so that's one thing that we can do.
Okay.
So
thanks,
you see,
thanks for that.
So in Komo IAD has helped now to improve the system. Meanwhile, out here some controversy.
Yes, but I don't like controversy.
What is controversy about this now? CCR no. In fact, you will have to pay us for this one, because now we. I know me without your microphone, yeah.
Oh, the issue, for me, has to do with two things: communication and the consistency. And I mean, the way I need accommodating or embracing with the suggestions I have. And one of my biggest complaints with the VGM, communication. I will hit on it until my best. Because from the beginning of the awards, they will move that a nomination. One, say artists na kasabe file. Two, say be a label and as a representative be file on behalf of the artists. And as a board through the research team so be out of their way. If the artists na submit, the label no so submit. No more say no. Song we and as artists we qualify. And so you be consider as nominee in the scheme. And from 2008 2010 never be sign because of Miss Bell and the VIP. And on mobile because of that confusion there by no. And you'll be on file it so that the moment you file means one can one consent. So near more some person I reverted to old winner. I think so it's only fair say about communicating my stakeholders no, because the board is not the only stakeholder. The general public, any the biggest stakeholder of Ghana Music Awards. So one man aware now the confusion about then the consistency. Last week, earlier, I said Robert Betan can different things. So you need to file before they consider. Now, a long-standing board member, so said they been signed here. I go back to the old ways. You what different modes of nomination, consistency. And see, I say a check moving forward now. How we communicate to stakeholders, one, and how we are consistent with your procedures and so on. Another thing I say a check. That's it.
Okay. Christian, it's been say be any issue be on this VGM and Komoka Korea and before you raise the other issues quickly now. And then there were so many issues, so I would like us to maybe in the next 30 minutes, near to me as also VGM and seven. Mean you?
Yeah, because once I hear to me establish the fact itself form, there's designation. Yeah, who no form anyway, they want dance here. And then emoji so the different side of it, the abasa, it could also even mean. And I think it's filing, it's been an issue over the years, but you'll be still me crowd man file then my nominations. So you have some of the artists Nankasa be bring now crowd to me everyone say how to say on one file, but nominations never no none do. I think it's a general the practice no in years no kakra minim and I stand for correction or not. So when the research team completes their work, there's a pool of and no more make it success under the year and the review.
Mumbiza needs a Teresa Yao de no friend Nana.
Them the man no Kalanu ko baby.
Okay.
No Kalanu ko mu here.
Can you say Obebi Sisia? Obebi Sisia.
Kwasi, so and I think say with kakra minim and I stand for correction. Say the research team no every year the year and the review they provide a pool of and no more in their mind they think say a show up great success a year competitive enough to be considered. They pull all these songs together to the board and the academy and the select committee to work upon them. Into content in a come by virtue say and Nancy sir Minfali and the Yamami nomination and the controversy by but ordinarily so we a musician na say yam ubo humodin under the year of reviewer. You should be proud. Say one file, but the board now recognize the work. I think Senka that system should have been maintained. Said the bay unquite to say now we file and they are filing the unquite winner that because once I we a musician, I will belong to the creative industry now industry mono. So we are nasa one edihini and answer a sonny penny a sogana for nim quad and now first near car bus body. Wo musician wo fali one fali e ya so this board na etna award no so no selecting research team no betumi capture e di waka your data no say emoji oye one of the artists annyum afiwe nnyum we about homodem party yemfanika award no it must not be necessary say emoji ekofa form non fill and san ye hunu say nnyum no oye no about homodem yemfanika awards no. Me that baby me call adwen kakra me hu say once I obo modern as an artist ne there baby u gina bia no the industry must recognize you and pick you up and no kra wo fie as musician na nominations ne ba na hu di wo mu a you feel very proud say even though say man kofa from bia amfele no the mere recognition no kra ye dia ma me no show say enipa na board na trans no wo mu ye adwumapa they know the songs that are making impact and songs that has to be nominated for under the year and the review. It should be so. Okay. Not necessarily say okay. All
right, my ni enyi sa asem yon because yenko so asema suggestion ya kwesi na say kan I'm sure say nyon nko just as ye din komo ya say kwabna so they make that suggestion last week ye ne kasa phone so about they think that SS scheme no so who say okay well as soon as you are ye juma not necessarily say be am file as to yemfa kwan bi so the excuse okay well yem pese be artist be sorry about be kase o me mouth to me say you no I'm sure we can solve that particular problem with by getting contacting them maybe say okay well you use and me use in your account so the artists want them so mon kase okay well we think that this year you fall in the category you pese you nominate you open so and open so saying anything.
I think it's basically about the same thing because that's why, for example, those who might not have filed but research captured them and we think they deserve nominations, they are contacted. I think is about the same thing. You know, giving your consent to the scheme, i.e. filing, also is another. Same way you speak of, it's also prestige. I've worked, I know I've worked and I've put out my work for nomination. You get me? However, if your work is not, if you don't do that submission and we acknowledge, we identify that, we still will contact you just to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we also identified that you worked, but we realized that you haven't filed. And there should be yes, that's okay.
Quick one on this particular issue about filing.
Yeah.
I was scheme behind the way our procedures and the mechanism.
Yeah.
The amount confusion or a lack of understanding. Because for example, offer Grammy say from Titi Nyinama Kacho say you need to file. board bianco be bianco consider one file. I mean, say when you're interested. And now, sorry for my comparison. Offer award beat set 3 music awards. And no, they don't consult anybody. They just research him number call out, like a normal call nominated songs and won't feel say qualify. Until a time artists in the back say, okay, this year they may person may involved in this awards. Then you take the artist out. It is a Charterhouse no person more both artists non file it and I say board be file manual. It's all about somebody disseminating information to Obia Mubia no want to say. So that HNB no PR cast for and then board high ranking board member so cast for. It is all about me procedure ni saying me no. But they make say otherwise there will be confusion. But yenti say I was Indiana how Phyllis so any say ya ebefa. But wama the oya de na man no wenya no ho ntiase will be where we are now.
So ni another person chene say scheme no eba no se kwan am fa so am bɔ ma bi hu dewura say hono no mu ya to sini kakra hono se mu pagya ne mam enti ne ma ne bi a yenim obetia ne se okay ye de we na ye adwuma sa na hu na bi a yen na yasuni for ma yente nia say mu ma hu no ana.
No, I think over the years ebia ye UCBB over the years, before we started using it, we spoke about it maybe first year, second year. So there's an assumption that it is understood. So I can understand Arnold from that area. And so yes, obviously we need to up our game on the communication bit. And these are some of the things that the board have identified. And we think we need to do a lot more work and probably place a lot more things on our website, because website so people can always reference. So we would not necessarily need to have a release or speaker, but once it's on the website, it clearly defines everything. So everybody has a fair idea and knowledge about what it is.
Okay. Well, send them the kind of and VGM and Kwan common yebedi. Emoji Hanum say my member base ba community be na ye ba be wi na yetimi agya ono so kwan ni kwan na ye nkoma aka na ne de ato aso. So emoji okay says he see there per se if controversy no only good at with the controversy won share that person it's a gospel now to know.
I just say
gospel ninti anya dia open controversy ni.
Oh yes, gospel me as a human being I mean controversy.
Okay.
I always like to put my cards plain on the table so that you know where I'm coming from.
I know pepe pension ya wa hanu say. Pepe anya wa hanu say. So I mean ebano gospel again maybe found the VGM is here.
Right.
Me hu unyan mo bia start yo mu route almost afie e PCS star.
Yeah.
Nafi.
Yeah.
I don't know whether sana mu nyina so mu hu na se bia se man be nya atwom na bia hyehyehye mu hu na bia mo ka na no me ni Frankie Five ono advocate e ba no gospel fo a ogine mu mam pa na video bi o yeah about say PCS star. I think this week in so on graphic showbiz me who the back page what I'm saying. Papa your tie Christianess. Me who say graphic showbiz for ni di nkomo. Wono so ka say o afie afe PCS Esther. This year is for PCS Esther. Minim was as gospel nyum tuni sana usu hunu say afie agina hono ma PCS Esther na.
Me that say I will say me in the space of gospel artist of the year. I'm also there as an artist. And ideally could be able say can also come out now say because you also they have to promote yourself. But as much if I have to be very honest and very candid, as much as I know say I have worked, because last year I put almost 18,000 people in an auditorium, a paid event with Donny McClelkin. One of my songs, Mala, is one of the biggest in Ghana. Not just that, I brought an album out. I did the program in the UK in the 4,000 seat auditorium, and all that. But
so I feel that's the calendar year and say you when you
yeah. So what I say?
Then Argentina, yeah, no more it is okay. A bit more on age, maybe my age,
Oh no, sir.
Because all this
things. Yeah,
yeah,
but Oshemwa, so back kind of cry. It be a Juma sing be.
Okay.
So what I say?
All right.
And for me this year,
and PSS are Juma sing.
For me, no, for me this year,
yeah.
I mean, it's clear that all the arrows are pointing at PSC Esther. You know, so it will be very. Some way say Obabi Jinaka say yes.
But also
I acknowledge that I have done my work. Yeah. I won't let anybody make Jinaka say yeah watching Yejuma. My Yejuma. So what I say?
Yeah.
You know, but all the arrows are pointing at my sister PSC Esther, and I believe that she's worked for it and she deserves it. So I also put my weight behind her. Not because everybody is doing, but Nyamidi Menyehu yedi wa dance and I'm so make be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Basenka, if you're doing peer voting, and can we vote on my PSS?
Say peer voting.
Say be a more and Kamotoaba
for the same category.
By saying that, it means
yes, I'll keep my vote here. Why not?
Oh, okay.
I'll still put in my hard work this year and see say next year. The sports
the
like
arrows almost the arrows.
Yes, arrows. No, I mean based on the work. No, say ejuma that table no so and you be na beka say emoji and yejuma. Omu say emoji yejuma beka say emoji yejuma. So what I say basically, yeah, that's the truth.
But I feel the PSS.
No, my sister worked for it. She's really worked hard for it. Yeah, she deserves it. And she even deserves Artist of the Year as well.
Artist of the Year.
Yeah. To me, I may found you in my opinion, she deserves it as well.
What is the meaning?
And team Pacho Mama so.
No, because we had
no, it's an age problem.
Oh, what do you mean by age problem? He did what?
And Pacho baby, and Pacho so good. Almost there.
I know the name is a baby of Faba. It's the first time I'm who say
gentleman say PC deserve artist of the year. And I also true. Now besides I didn't know true. Until I say okay we are related and I say related. Simple.
I send a message. No, why?
Say related, I know what can I.
So in the first place, no, and you're related. Okay. In the first place, but at the bakuna or Casadon so no, me mama kakra.
Dear sir.
Because we say we start here or any conversation, no. Be o kan ye bia no, and it's on most of ye nuanuma almost all ye gospel musicians.
Yeah.
And the rade eyi edin ne maame na enyum ne rade chro maame chesi bibia on beka bia je se omo de ade ne ko share rade kasa kire me say rade ne kasa kire no so no an de na dwen ti say all artists sit down, they discuss, they look at the pros and cons, technicalities and get to conclusion bi no omo de bibia no je se omo de ko share rade fine nia wo ka se si eyi rade na eyi a kire wo say PSC Esther
Eradi in here. I said it plainly. Say
okay.
No. There be. Make it plain. Say me the major more to table no so. And you know make catch us in program in UK in the 4,000. You would have known. Oh, chairman.
Ebru we so dey anya rade.
Chairman.
Udi kaka wo dey ba wo nu team atian say.
Awon name rade yin kire o. And awon name was all common sense So what I say? Show me. No, see.
I'm only putting it on record.
No. See. No. I never read yourself.
Socrates. Mount Casa is Socrates.
No. We are better than say Radi.
So I have said Radi.
And you may Radin can't show more money. About says Radisi. It's an issue for two.
You know what does it mean so be so young people in what it's and now you have problem with that.
Wait, Mumian Fanque Radianim.
In the year of review, you share Juma Nipaye. Nana Aboagye emoji music aye Juma. PSS aye Juma. Dana Hamza aye Juma. Jomet aye Juma. And then me say, I'm not speaking for anybody. Me say, based on the work, I have also worked. I filled a 21,000 auditorium with 18,000 people. Ticketed event with Donny McClelkin. Me concert for UK last year. In the month of October, I went on tour in America. I worked. This is the work I did. based on the work I did, na me share ejuma me asem I say ejuma PSA no be enwu. Everybody can see it with your naked eyes unless you are blind. You understand?
Clearly,
when you ready unless you are blind.
Yeah. Into Chono was related.
So if you are telling me, sir, if you are based on the work my sister have done, I am personally saying not coerced by anybody. Me na make come asem. Say ejuma na my sister yen. I think no.
Which one is your concern?
Based on my own analysis. Nana Aboagye ejuma. Based on my analysis. I didn't say based on the
Oh, say you're ready, pa. Obey
No, he's telling you that he's human. He's human. God, no, he's human. God speaks to him. He identifies what God has spoken to him, and he identifies things that are his thinking, and he's differentiating the two. So there's no need because I said God. I listened to God and he gave me direction in the choice of name. Doesn't mean that when I decided to say I'm voting, I will vote for PSC, I should wait for God to tell me that.
And I'm only pleading. It's just a plea that this one, let's also give it to the table of God.
That's not how we plead.
Plead to God. Hey, Nyamipa. Where we are seeing
the cat. I'm surprised that I'm surprised. You can see the cat. No. You can see the cats playing on the table. The works are evident. You can see it. Emoji Yejuma. No, boss. Oh, Jesus Christ.
How do you know whether it's the wish of God or not? Leave it to God.
Nyame pena Tinubu di win election ana. It's based. Oh, that be based on what? And everything doesn't have to be boss, send America no. Me share ejuma na my year in the year I've worked, but I think my sister PSA Esther has equally worked as I've worked, and her works are more than what I've done. I will be honest. So based on my own research and what I've seen with my eyes, I think that PSA fits the position of the Gospel Artist of the Year and Artist of the Year. She deserves it. Simple. So it's left on those who are voting to vote, and the academy that by text message no vote amano and a board no so better say almost be vote ama PCS me ma join amaka no ebe say me corner say me go do and say Gospel Artist of the Year, shall we welcome it goes to Emoji Music Marco Jenna maka say thank you. Okay. So what I say
so quickly nyampese ya ne say me ba beja Emoji ni kwan nti me call round Arnold Tilly Socrates Kwasi Councillor Lutrot. Any question bia mpese mbisa VGM ni wa hanum say yensa to when the last time I'm sure say ebenya ni yenen bedin komo say VGM na banko a de brepem na say o brea ye betwe no memendasi ana baba be kan ho na ya toa so na niam a yenti ase no wetimi aboa ne ate ase. But if you have a question on the Tilly mention same few so quickly and oh no Councillor Kasa so Councillor I mention same few Mummy am on tell mpacho no ntimi say question question you mpacho nya kasa tintin mpacho
yo me da say questioning them say me question say na say ano the emoji can earlier on from this angle no omaji atumu so me say correction no but
correction be one seven
say one file ba ni din wo no NCBO because one file ba ni din wo.
No suggestion. So I mean, yama susuye bi. In fact, say emoji crown or the buy say okay well. System analysis in TBA. I know see well. Say a suggestion. Idea about top board. Or ontimi ntina. I know the way nyese make us about ontimi nyina nkrani mu tutu nkrani. But I think it's a laudable idea. So I'm fan of the ejuma beboa. So I don't know about correction.
Okay. Then I say omo pa ombefa. So omo pair next time we san TBO so mi so benya ni nomination. One file by the Nyamiasi say emoji and file na some recognize no enkanka onye hip live musician boy gospel musician na attending kan ama na yewe. But me sere me bisa say seriously no that form no so no pa yentumi hu obia no mubetumi aye sa correction say nipa ni din kan ho ana ni bibi. Because in your submission you kept saying
pass that.
No, for you pass.
No, I mean the form was shown.
No,
it's there.
On the form,
it's on the form.
in the contact because
it's there.
Okay,
it's there.
then my last question is say VGM for money will be a musician working in Yina will be a contact.
Oh no, we can't have Obia contact.
It is a research team finding out Bibia. How do you reach the people?
We will be able to reach them. We might get to you, might get to Kwasi, we might get to somebody who knows somebody. But we do not have everybody's contact.
So it's likely if you don't get to anybody, the person can be dropped finally.
If the person deserves nomination, somebody will know the person. Yes.
So it's still about somebody.
Yeah, because I mean we can't have every number of all artists. In fact, we can't have the numbers of all artists in Ghana. They are large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Medasi Councillor. Questioners.
Bra.
Yeah.
Because last week na me issue kakra say the board is asking for 40% from the irregular 30%. I think so almost the 10 account. Nti na stakeholders no
microphone them say
yeah. So na ye ina na pese ye ti ase kakra there na esi ama board no pay more power. More the 10% no na pese ye ginchirim kakra more the yedai. Then na more pese more power na more pen. What is more the powers no yedai.
But your more power more the yedai.
What is it?
Oh the how would I put the Boa scheme is all part is part of the say everything that happens on the VGMA. Who takes the blame or who takes the all the things that they speak is the board. And so the board must equally have some and we think 40% is a good percentage spread across.
So if I understand you well, you are more power because of your program now. Blaming na
Bibia even everything revolves around the board. So Bibia Beba can be a board. I say. The board thinks it is right to have a 40%.
But don't you also think, say, as a populist awards?
Yes.
The power also deserves is on a public in certain key decisions. It done because the entire public complaining is any say ABR. Who say public who say we deserve artist of the year, we deserve popular song of the year. But board no so vote no be vote no eba no. Ya dem kosa the public no concern into the na issue of blame neba. In that capacity no maintaining more power to the public. So that a public could be to many to me and decide who is supposed to be crowned public a popular song of the year, as soon as of the year.
Okay,
that's a board.
Last one,
more power.
Okay, who says Sena o
power now? Still I blame the bear more.
Sena o kase o kano o say ina the board no vote here, public no engine to. That's what you said right now. Public no concern.
Back and forth now.
Public no concern. It is just like you are saying right now. No, you are putting the issues on the board, and therefore you are even confirming why the board needs to have 40%. What you said right now just goes to confirm why the board, because who's voting a public academy board determine the final votes. But when you are speaking right now, you are speaking about the board. You didn't speak about academy, you didn't speak about public. You were saying the board no vote here. So that means that majority of the people are expecting that the board will do some extra work beyond everything else. And so you yourself have gone to confirm the 40%.
So great. Yeah.
Quickly, question, but advice.
Okay.
Yeah. I sit here. There was a time I decided to come in VGM. Ya same be I know no so a non canon. But my dream one, it's about the industry. Niamuye biano is to, and it's helping the industry. Say artists to make trans or target. Say maminya juma. Emoji senior okay. Why ye juma ne my a boa industry no fine. Who say most of the comment questions ni no. I don't know the mindset of the people that runs it, including the board and the charter house. I'm yet to see one person. He is against VGMA. Everybody has a challenge with a Nema 1 2 be amoye. Se mo fana supermu nkebe boa. Minim se mo fa bebre, ama changes bebre about over the years. But I think encourage it and see everybody. The attitude of some of your communicators, those who engage the media, no sometimes no. And man look and sound like you see some people as attacking the, how do you call it, the scheme. I don't see it that way.
Now, Pacho Bebre, Asemo, okay. Scheme, you almost ask ye, they be for some years in your own will be a Casamon.
Oh, and your back, and your nipper back.
May can't say, Mammy.
Okay.
Omo be a Casamon. With the exception of Mfanse Bia Ni, who is a lot more, or no so bois a banner be a communication, especially you be from board now. I'll say. Why am now okay? Oh,
and I make say over the years. I'm not talking about your friend is saying the current PRO, Robert. No. Don't take it to Robert. I'm talking general. There has been
me body.
But me body. Say obit yeah.
No. Una can't say. So if you say no say now can.
There be Kwasi. Me can the general say over the years now. This approach, has been there. Sometimes it becomes a bit confrontation. Even was it you last 2 weeks who said that me can say you are being me use word be and say oh no say rude.
That's last week.
Last week. Because I felt even you reacted and someone here can't hear there. It sounds like no. So you also came up from that angle. Sometimes send you canon you will be a bit a yikakra. It's not about one person, but I know, sir, from where you sit, that's how you will feel sometimes. Please understand what we are doing.
Well noted.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know.
Maybe an issue is with one person. Now, over the period, I'm an issue with the board and Ni is away. But this particular moment, my issue is with one person, and that's the PRO, Robert Clark. Forget. Na Pachobem nyabotre. Pachoma me opportunity na me address Robert. Because
and you umbisa papa asemo.
O maybe sano.
Okay.
Question na maybe sano no.
Ebe opportunity.
Ebe stem from in Semhunu bi Robert e over the week
In Semhunu anu yashi.
Yeah, I don't care. Seriously.
No, you have to care.
Okay, boss.
With that say.
Okay.
Obi kase also can say more.
Normal.
No, but
okay, Mate. Me transign. Last week, Robert Betana, the new man no call UTV, a little banter, and Tuesday or call HFM call Kasabe. Na no please say bia me HFM many opportunity or until bia many opportunity bio, but me opportunity na hanel. Inti who be here say me address no pepe person or address mo HFM. Now, can send me be.
We are not any more or less any.
But my address it because one also address me or because me on your issue YouTube. I said you end there. But why any carry forward? I call it FMA. Some platform. You miss my train Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Into miss my address. Miss my platform. Yana suffer. But if I any family, meka. Senior. Saf on so critical be no I say nemo en omonte ase because you nyina ye building an industry. But Robert Cotton hit FM on Tuesday I say me no as me be negative, maybe negative. And say Niwa, I mean I've been working with Neo VGMA for a long time. Really I've always been a pessimist when it comes to the awards. On Tuesday I say me be negative. And I felt say insimhuna na okan. That's where my insimhuna is coming from. Because you and I know say over the years, I mean, I'm part of the process. apart from being an academy member, no, some magazine a year for the awards, no, I did literature Aboagye awards, and I've been part of it for over 15 years. Charterhouse for Trump, when you're aware and uncle because of a PR. What I say, I'll mutual. So why would I want to kill fraternity and as a unit at it doesn't make sense to me. In so what time reason like I say media I've always been negative towards the awards. I mean so can't say the other thing I can say so by reading TV so conversation so by having and conversations a person having and you no person having and I'm like boy okay because say hater from my invite to be discussing VAGM ya when say show now no apart from the host no panel members also. So host no bisa question likely panel members be bisa question yes sanity na se obana be discussing VGM ya o kan wasen we professor sorry come be say bisa question yes aben na wom. Number 3 or see me academy member na academy member they say me wish you me call back end na me call discuss na me say akwa we onye serious so who PR of the organization unim say academy member no a integral part of the scheme. Now what's some procedures be nyansem dey na say way you need to inform the academy members bosu because of the respect and the recognition of the man as a stakeholder of the scheme no my changes being some and I say this is what it is one can share me now fe me raise ya because I didn't call back in now when nyansa say so back in now be man respect no as a stakeholder of the industry we you know say give you no kind good or say or person have a conversation and as be say yeah or no need tone or no pen say conversation because I'm say quite serious. Obasa be discussing the intricacies and nitty-gritties of the awards and also Obasa be determine who has a higher tone, who has a lower tone. On checking no because see, you know PR, my PR person for the awards from Juno to George. This guy, for me, I think that he's becoming on up in the game, on stepping up. Because PR all call into your deliberation I border on their water. It does so put a document. So documents no kuta then there's a likely we say be any na team. But my court snap stage as any bisa anything related to our so minim me check minim ni na onye serious. Now to my question. On YouTube, you know, anytime I be sending BBR concerning category definition, operational definition, Okacho said though, board knows what certain guidelines beyond the ejuma. Board no guidelines. It's yes I know we throw off because as members of the public now you follow us no. You name documents at the ejuma, category definitions, and then to some extent operational definitions. But then the PR or no DBR who resist or say board no guidelines at the ejuma. Now I say what's this guy talking about? Because as far as we know, documents in the ejuma, name. On the same Hits FM show on Tuesday, I say and a man me want me set of guidelines be me arguments, but the bigger guidelines no board no kutuku. I'm saying this guy is not correct. And say be na minim, ma me be say ni based on what PR Robert Clark account over the period no from last week to now. O creating impression say board no guidelines for bia modi ejuma when it comes to the VGM. Respectfully, ma me be say more documented guidelines bia and no exclusive to the border modern awards na show ebia na minim ebia na me ho pacho sanity ana.
Okay, thank you. Board no we work with the document that is in the public domain. It's the same documents we work with. But I think Robert's reference to guidelines is that every institution beyond that to say you can say the most popular song of the year is a song adjudged by Academy Board and whatever it is as the most popular song. No, that is a general definition. But now, when we get to the board, we must have a means of determining. So we deliberate. And those deliberations, the things that guides our deliberation, probably is what he's referring to as the guidelines. You understand me? So that it is not that there are a different set of rules that operates and a different set of rules, but the deliberations, we have you deliberate along certain lines, and that
is normal. I mean,
that
boardroom
happens,
deliberation.
Yeah, that happens in the boardrooms.
I need separate guidelines. Or make you be able to say, oh, momu kuta different documents. Be a modi ejuma. And then pachoko akachen so on step up why na kakakra. No, I'm not missing words, boss.
It's the same thing, because also like last week's discussion when he spoke about using streaming numbers and all that, which became
Changes,
an issue.
Yes.
I thought it didn't need to be an issue in the sense that, for example, I don't think you've been part of the nomination committee before.
No.
Yes. But Kwasi, you've been part of the nomination committee,
Yeah.
and you realize that when the ecosystem changes, we also must try to change. So, for example, at the time when Kwasi, you were part of the nominating committee, you realize that Bandero was effective.
Yeah.
You get me? So, as part of the things that we used to determine the popularity and things, included Bandero, radio airplay, the spinners and all that.
But ni won say ni ano de kano. Say bia mobefa, and for me, say one of the key issue I ana de bia man for kind is the transparency. Ni ano de comment na here in a way, and say she I don't think say be say.
No.
Say ni amani bi wa just communicate, and can be, and I think that that's what probably going forward, and I see it to me here, the website, and the social media portals of the scheme, some of these informations,
we just have to drop them there.
Exactly. Say be a scheme, a time no be do na more employ be nipa be bakumi no be quickly as soon as be put it there a bit me abwa ama some of this little, as you are saying, issues mine because because if say information or her, nobody will sit here so that you bet me at the time we'll do or we'll discuss other things, but we are discussing it because we are a scheme, but we see it as an industry thing. So that's why so I think that's a bit it will just will help.
No, but even with that, now Okasa streaming when you didn't see that as an issue, and I still see that as an issue, and it adds on to what Kwasi is saying. Yeah, because when I pick,
let me just finish. Okay, so I'm saying, all it does is that we're looking at new forms of getting music.
That's fine.
You get me?
Yes.
And those will help us in our judgment.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
And so it's the same way. It hasn't changed. It's just the things that go into it that has changed. So, for example, like academy members. When it's time for the academy to vote, we don't speak about maybe this person had X number of banderos, this person had this person had, no. Those works are used just for the nomination process, and once that nomination process is done, when it comes to the voting, those mechanics that were used for the voting process are not shared. The nomination process are not shared with the academy, are not shared with the general public, but the outcome is what is shared, and then the academy general public board will vote on the outcome. You get me? And so that was what I was saying. I didn't think it needed to be. Maybe the explanation didn't come out well, but it's the same mechanics that we've been using in the past. It's only that the things that form the mechanics in determining songs right now includes the streaming platforms today, because they become a means of sales and publishing of music. That's all.
Chile, okay,
aside Robert Clark or the official PRO for the scheme, our board members allowed to also speak on Senya or Nova Radio Sober Kasa about defending issues, clarifications. Now, our board members allowed to also do that.
Robert is the PR of the scheme, and so he speaks on behalf of us all, both the board and the organizers, which in this case is Charterhouse. So he speaks for us. You get me? Now, I most of the time come to this platform based on the relationship and the respect I have for Kwasi. but most board members won't, because we always want to go with one voice, the person who speaks for us. And that's it.
Okay, I'm asking because to me it doesn't instill confidence in Robert Clark when there are other board members talking especially when he's on the show. Because last week said I think Okan Bibi, and then a message came from you to Kwasi Aboagye, and then that was what got Arnold upset. Meanwhile, I was thinking, since he was here and he was a representative of more scheme, the message could have gone to him. He will find a way of handling the conversation. To me, whenever the conversation comes and there's another person talking from the same scheme, it doesn't instill confidence in Robert Clark, which is where my problem is. Because as someone walk in there, say you come up there, walk in there, and the Robert Clark and last week, difference be brave. I say, I'm sitting here quietly waiting for a soft quarter. Oh, that. But only the power no so on Kasamomo.
And still confidence in I don't know. May struggle cacao had minimum bar still confident.
I get
because last year crown dear. And yeah, phone and yes, new of you last year be share.
Yes, and I'm mechanical, so it's
minimum bar, and for me in particular, dear. Just to speak for him, yes, since even George Rockrano, Mechineba had to be, as he said, yes, and board no so Ayana, who said the reason why for me Abia ni and I think that Abia offer ni you don't get the other board members also are more kasa, because sometimes indeed there are some of the things even the kasa more because board no. So ayana ye moving to fee where you know be from the border, and I think in the past about 2 or 3 years ago, I think Francis Doku was speaking for the board.
Yeah.
Any Dorinando. Yes, because
at the point Itego was nominated to speak for the board.
Because it told be a board no so you hear so much
Okay.
I don't think say
no, because me fan say Sir Robert Clark kasa. Na say we, as he says, board ne na say bisa board member, na say board no member need to me my details are Abia Robert Clark ain't me my and then it means that okay, then we have to speak to the board. But and that conversation now who say there is a certain communication problem even within now when it comes out, it makes it extremely problematic. Am I what you say? Because the Robert Clark are different. They also are different. Meanwhile, you board so you are not willing or ready to give the details that Robert Clark keeps referring to.
No, we are saying the same thing, just in different ways.
Okay.
You get me? Because the same thing that Robert said. Well, he just put it differently. It's deliberations at the board level. He calls it Arnold, what did you say?
Operational
divisions or guidelines.
Guidelines. You get me? But it's board deliberations. You get me? But he calls it guidelines. It is not different. You understand me? It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ni Bibi say 2 issues. I think that earlier communication no not about Abantina. What was number? Was it 13th? Anna? The date
I think
was it always
on the 6th?
On the 6th of May.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that's the 6th of May now. I was in the Basso.
Yeah, 6th of May.
Okay. Now, back one person clear my last week, and common be a buy was this 1 week window. I'm on the my said omissions and corrections. Now, in Tiasia Minya bra again, Robert Bahanum say no chese Enra, which was by close of Friday, you bring a response. In pacho, we side Jumano asked to petitions a buy, what me di Juma. The number of petitions be amunya more than crata by way of corrections and omissions in there.
Okay, just like Robert said, we received quite a number of petitions. There are quite a number. I can't remember, but and because of the numbers and all that, we've sat, we've discussed, we've deliberated, we've come to conclusions. Okase anka Enra release Beba out, but I think the release will be coming out on Monday.
Okay.
Yes, most probably with the outcome of
more decisions.
Yeah, decisions based on the 1 week window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bibi one maybe as see one as maybe fine. Board no Ubema Yaswati. And
okay, from the board level, no dear, all we'll say is that we encourage all artists. We appreciate their work, and we ask them to keep hope alive and keep promoting their works. Obviously, is always good. Once you are nominated, you're same as a winner, because I mean, obviously there are hundreds of various artists, but your name came up and it adds to your discography. So I mean, it's a scheme that has stood a test of time, and we listen. Not that we don't listen, we listen, and based on that, I think there are certain overhauling, if I can put it that way, that would happen after this year's award.
Okay.
And we'll see a lot of change, because it's been, I think, 10 plus or so years that we did any major overhauling, and things have changed a lot.
Sure.
And so we also must change with the trend, even though we're trying to do it small, but I think we need to sit down and come out fully, and then come out with a comprehensive, and then come out with a communique.
Okay.
And see how best also we can improve our websites and the information that we put out there, so that it is clear to everybody what we are working with.
Okay. Me who say not person be but I not before I'm about
to me if you question me I say bisa.
I'm not.
We say Christian is really about some increasing more percentile no for the board to 40%.
Yeah.
And a new explanation is say you most often than not accuse board no for any eventuality be about awards until no more 14. So what if after this years no still now man for board nature, what will you do? Will you increase it to
100%
or 100%? Because you see, I can assure you say
it wouldn't be that. You realize that
it's just like a parent Nimba catcher and say daddy eduani out the my there or say fabo no bra or here Mati half crab. Would you crab the man? Masanji half crab.
Because you see, last year I wrote about the overhauling. Because the award akoswa yenye any industry conversation here to see, because like you said, trains don't be assassin. And so we need to have a conversation where we would say, okay, you're funny say, I say, you're funny say. And I do not, although I respect my decision, but I do not agree. Say more percentile, 40% will kill the conversation. I say accusations. Oh, board I say. And I'm 100%.
Because if you increase it,
no, it won't kill it. Killing there, it won't kill it, because you can never determine what people think or what people say.
But it's a reason.
But it is
reason for fraud. Mumpe reason for fraud.
You yate.
Because if you cry near be meme. And you would have never 100. I'm on call, but quickly.
No, but anyway, is well noted. But it is. I mean, you can see that it's been over the years. It's been moving in and out, and
okay.
I think let's see how this one goes, and then we can see, and then.
Okay, all right. Nanga mse mbisa bibi ba to dem aminja na ko.
Bisa no boss.
Say last week, we say in command ba ko pie about, and I think I started from last week Tuesday or so. Yenya Sami who so I raised that particular, she was heavily on that particular point say kwanya mutiti her life no. Office a lot more artists. Among 4 years, Juma Fian KCSC, who we just had, I think, about 4 artists in the High Life Artists of the Year category. So this week again, graphic showbiz media still have me follow Muna. So on the front page of the paper, I say VGMA is a curse to High Life. Ambulance all kind of say, or see scheme, a kahubi, and a High Life, the limping state of High Life. CCI so to good national, a kahubi is because of how our scheme, I said. And I see a picture, ye be been between picture high life, but Niamana Muyeni na I say, a ma high life, a bathroom. Why didn't check a crack?
Also, scheme no is not. When you try to make that analogy now, I have a little challenge with it, because the scheme just operates with what is available. the scheme does not produce songs or manage artists or anything. The scheme works with what is available on the market. So if musicians are not producing high life songs that are breaking through, the scheme cannot force any song or any artist to be there. You understand me? It is the industry that will build itself up. You get me? And for all these people who are speak like Jerry Blay, I think he released an album last year or so, if I'm not mistaken. But how well did he push it for it to be out there? For example, you get me? I mean, high life, we identify with it, but we must also not try to prevent the young people who are also experimenting from experimenting with what they think is their genre or their style. You get me? It's the same way, you know, when Ampedu them started that kind of high life. It was also condemned at that time that they were trying to diffuse high life. When George Daku Dem's Charles Amoy and Co came, they were also being accused. You get me, that they are trying to spoil the high life. So it is a trend. It is what it is. And what we need to do rather as an industry, I believe, is to try and encourage more people, for example, to do what they term authentic high life.
Okay.
You get me? And the scheme there is not. And if you read the article, you realize that, I mean, we cannot go with it because, you know, he speaks about nominating songs that are not high life in high life songs, but it never happens in the scheme.
Okay.
You should just show me just one song which has been nominated in the high life category, which is not high life.
Okay.
You get me? And so I don't think you can put that on the scheme.
All right.
No.
Okay.
It's wrong.
Nia Iti Hammond, that's a board member, Vodafone Ghana Music House. MOG, Nia Be Chat Okra, fans, it's for Mutiu, Namijakwa.
I'm looking to say, Konine album phase 2 never out. April, so watch out.
Okay.
And follow me on social media for all the details that concerns my music.
So MOG Music, simple.
Yeah, MOG Music, all the social media platforms, all my accounts are verified. So
that's it.
Follow me, let's talk.
Nice one. Mala. That's it. That's MOG Music, and I'm sure say what so wait me follow no all the social media handles on Sabeting account on saying then get to enjoy some more of new music. Well, so me Joe Mkwine Nyumtini kwabna eba betra se ye beto ankomo no so, and there are some other issues so we ye di ho enkomo. National Film Authority that Oma reacted to a story about Spike Lee, Hollywood movie director, producer, actor. Obedu Ghana hanum say ochese Obedu Ghana hanum say no obia kra any ndi enkomo bia onim say we have a thriving movie industry in your kaka. So National Film Authority for one more day kakraba. And this week I say starting from last week, what I'm saying, and you to phone be a very busy pa. I just said one more boy juma, one more year juma. I mean Kofi Mole, Kwasi Arthur, Kelvin Boy, Kamido, Eno Baroni, Kwame Eugene. Omunina, they have this singles near the idea. They're working on, some of them are going on radio tour, interviews in Koma Hodobe Bray. And I'm sure say one of the biggest conversation also this weekend so about the fact that Shatawale Mali album and the Fifth Dimension Stonebwoy in the forthcoming album, and also basso where you the track list no or the artist impression in your kaka or the and also ADP if home come on away or your Jimmy so yeah.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
Você was here for. That's so important.
Numero uno. Entertainment review. Agent Naso. FM.
You try your pussy for down. And so me buy on it. I'm into my time for now. You brave ya banging you. Don't me go to. I'm watching you deserve. Boy. You me so you me baba suai. Yeah, no don't put him in so. Giddy. I'm seeing you. Jimmy top for my one in Rivia. Shedding. You're the bomb, sorry. Show what I'm young prison. Shedding. I'm Jimmy. Shedding. You're the bomb, sorry. Show what I'm young prison. Shedding. I'm Jimmy.
So kwabna tena sie bedi nkomo.
Shedding.
Okay, so my member studio no am say na yen common as say kwabna tena say na microphone na yen komo. I'm sure that this one will do for you. Yes, Akwaba.
Yeah.
So before this I'm pressure or hand him saying said yen interview in term na kwabna be go school. Really? Who go school?
Kakra.
No, seriously say
yeah. I'm back in school. I'm in Siadia.
They're in school.
UPSA.
2 years this year.
So say me a Bachelor of Science in Marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A quack say nansi anyom tufo ya yi dia nkanya na abano se ema mu nyina mo ko school minim se Samini ko school bebre ko school
one say okay for me just a simple reason one say me on marketing field no dada as an artist, and you know so many years in the industry and in the year on the field, no, I thought say it would be prudent for me to have the theoretical knowledge of what I'm doing.
I see.
And then again to me what vision say metati artist, and I'll market artist, and I'll put some artists out there. I need to have a vivid understanding about marketing.
Okay.
Now boame.
By chemu wachemu mami musa question no na dodo.
Yeah.
Obi a wotie ka say kwabena de so nyum tuni wo fame wo cash.
Yeah.
Ko school akwa eden school de ye de wachire mu de be boa wo djuma wo de be ton djuma ya we ni ade but I'm sure say obi was still on tia say
yeah
kwabena to nyum wo nyesika amanfo nim no the school ye den
so on say say sorry yes ma nipa tia say sebi unko school say sebi mo de kwa kopesika school de nimdeɛ na wokɔkɔpɛ, and unimdeɛ no betimi aboa ma o talent bi ewo mu ana se bibi ewo mu no etimi aboa ma no wetimi aye ne yi saa na me hunu no nti it doesn't matter with status ubetimi akɔ school ama na ye.
So kwabena nyum tuni okɔ school na otu na say o say Kobi to kwabra ayi emprebe bre na menya nyom tifo se na mbo mo nyom na wo studio a me mpesa me ka hwe no me gya ma enti we no atache no yeden awero
yeah oh say okay time and I think the 90s anymore Eddie Coco series no one say na yeah once my was Chris Asri na papa Alaji bi obi your friend Jibrudaya Nere na your friend Awero, the young wife na your friend Awero. So like I went back into those thoughts to create something.
I see, that's a beautiful one. And why now in the year no baba na no to nyum no Adina. Yeah. I see. Nice duet. And so we know about thing.
Yeah. We are famisa album no so on say and then you know November last year.
Right.
But then like I said no 21 track album na me 14 7 ne da so. Me prepare na masan dia payment so now 21 and like I said you know yeah you know album season so
okay but we yeah boy no
we were 14 so yeah our 14 track for this album so
okay
I were all the guitar platforms iTunes Spotify Boomplay baby
14 and you back 14
yeah
na sisi ya nyum dodo sa no ya na emphasis also there because because ade cry na obi single cry no obi cry the Gini Dini ade enti but I know say I understand album there
yeah
it has to contain maybe a certain number of songs enti somehow so fun say album from dia a thousand but because of nothing crime of faso aya moye enyum no send a tier in terms of album. Do people really pay attention to album? Not I was scheme, the technical people, you know. How is it like? I mean, as an artist, from your own assessment, and maybe because I'm telling you because do people really pay attention? Will someone download the entire album? When we say almost download, do you see it or they just download maybe singles? Senator.
Matter of fact, the love for albums is back. I must say because response from the Famisa album and then again so make me it depending on what artist and what you are aiming at per album now we're releasing and why you are releasing the album.
Okay.
For me, I may feel say over the years I've had some very loyal people to my music and they followed me through and through. And almost me album be so I always see say if I bring them an album they will appreciate it. And through them too I can reach out to other people who also can like attest or relate to my albums, my previous albums. So it's like me dream was said no I can't be releasing singles but I should release an album even if me release the singles in between it do time be I was me release the album be my fans no more. But then like you're asking yes because of streaming near the end now I can say there's a possibility say every other song on an album actually makes money individually. Releasing the album out there is quite advantageous now because it's possible that somebody can just chance on one of the songs on the album. Before I realize a couple of songs on the album was stars, and that tells you that people are actually listening to the album. I guess it's
because you said back in the days, no.
Yeah.
So maybe let's say as or time.
Yeah.
The album, Otoma will be Otoma man for.
Yeah. No, I do see the rights.
Yes. Into you're seeing it as an artist.
Right.
Who feel it? Who say okay? Well, fast walk.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at CC as sign a tier mamo. San Faso now back in the days, say be from most started. It's our son. We be San Faso releasing album. That's sape pepe na tie se otimi nya san faso no
sesia ye metimi aka say since I me tasty back those days ni kakra bi make say sesia no very good and returns near more sin first because first no obeji CD rights up front oji up front what how many per corner only per corner beton over a period of time now with that time no na albums no kind of like a do time be or not only pakwa what to CD rights ko jaitwa well them to jaitwa they are not say on tombio but this time no matter how long the album stays there it still gets streamed, it still get listened to, you still get paid every day.
Okay.
That's the biggest advantage right now.
So ukase no can be about loyal fans.
Yeah.
Na me pese me busa. Sign a tier. I know a bit is more into coming from, let's say, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And from, let's say, late 90s and early 2000s. Ebi I will see so and me can see so to say be we are so beji din
right.
Na almost every artist be a person who feature kwabna. So you build a huge fan base, loyal people, amanfobia from that time na no. Di with you many ho. Now amanfo ebinum aba. If you know so ma fefe omanyi omaba. How is it as an artist? I imagine say which of these people are you looking at? Oh, share loyal fans no and nyawo ye no is to bring new fans on board. DNA is the mentality, the strategy.
Sir, if you check what's happening right now, I am quite a bit strategic. One, you are looking at your fans. Two, you are looking at the numbers. Because I say, I be a numbers game. So even to so be crap so feature or check it, no the benefits. But then for me, being a lover of music and being somebody who always want to create my fans and I consider my fans too. I look at and I say what can make me satisfy them and what they expect of me as an artist. I know take it the greater percentage, but then again there's another percentage I may share with numbers too, because at the end of the day I must make some money too. So buy in consideration hand in hand.
Sanity balancing these two, because share numbers.
Yeah.
So maybe find the young ones that are coming. You have a certain loyal fans in so you want to appeal to them.
Yeah.
At the same time, say obe attractive a man for no young ones and so younger ones no more ban so that numbers in a bit to me ebe costro. Does it play some heavy bedding? This will be mouse senator balancing these two. No, not a
yeah, of course it's a task, but then ningina art no me feel say ningina count task as a creative. Thinking as a creative, no, I think say there are so many factors. Into times it change here as a creative, no. Even if you go studio, there are certain tones and there are certain loops are unused to be. So yes, it is quite a tough task. But then again, so if you're able to unlock it, so need evidence. Yeah, I feel say you must approach to actually make the balance. Not at least wait to me release BBA be appealing. Then again to a bit commercial value so be was.
Yeah. So what kind about tones in Mama Kai? So let's say main fan say kwanya bia o fast so shasi elbow and now again we refer to ABR so because a come on and when they do PA
I'm telling you can cry almost say the second national anthem of Ghana.
I see. So and too far to say bia tones how I'll be as anyum.
Yeah.
Because of enyama sesam and I'm a form more back. And Tiama as wonyum to Nino, who co studio cry now, oh, yanyum no, oh, yes, I am in our own.
Yeah, because back in the days, I was so co studio, so quite beautiful studio.
Yeah,
but and then we wait me for laptop, no, for sound card, no, kita microphone, no, where she and then wait me, I took room, and then you guys will just lay down vocals.
Wow.
Like Enyama as a sound to the extent that
Emmanuel Ding send who said, okay, first pan seen a year and you near ding, but see idea and you may know I have for amame and I send it.
Make us say for me it's a CIF for amame.
Okay.
Because back then now we go through a lot even to record and yasa chiama on where we now for when you know on loop when you know over and over what did they make us even the journey to the studio near there any softwares near there. Now I think say it's much easier for every artist to actually break through because many who can say is first bra I was say bibia gyina so.
Yeah.
And they ubetimi enya TikTok, ubetimi enya Instagram, ubetimi enya. There are so many channels. We recording unyum o dem we ye kra no ubetimi the video so then you start to put it out there.
Yeah.
In
fact, in the process of making the song cry.
Yes. Well, and they ubetimi ako online. Now if you work various productions. Bia ni aupe bia no choose no aka no what download now the About Studio. You just lay down your vocals. You don't even have to meet the producer. It's much easier now.
Okay.
Enti anunti na ama getting quality no so I difficult because now it's quantity and not quality.
So quality number from sana.
Number from quality number from. Yeah, because of access. Because of access into even if you have the slightest interest, you want to try your hands on something.
Okay.
But then if the access, it's time now access then that I was be a so-called hash and then be a munina more hash is just one console. You bought hammer now say JQ about one beat and you are all like 20 artists and everybody needs to make sure say you have the best chorus to fit the production. Then you realize that's why the quality was there because almost every time out of about 20 underground artists, they are all competing on one production. Intina Hammer production be and that's why it was that great because your door soon be brave. If your vibe doesn't fit that production, you are out. It doesn't matter who you are. We worked under that condition, but now nobody judges what you are recording since you have the software and you have everything at home. And then you just put it out there. Yeah.
So Nyama Sano, yeah, am I frustrated as an artist? And I'm just saying this based on the fact that quantity CCR quality number form.
Yeah.
Because CCR be a enkan kwan be a befa so abayanyum. Empo kra no bi ho say we di band bi achi sa.
There you go. Yeah. Also cable sa. Yeah.
Apprentice ba anyama sesa.
That's right.
Inti technology ama sa akwanya no ma. Me fan sa akoda bia sisu a obetimi before we hu jack no aba be yanyum tuni.
Yeah.
Does it get maybe a mo say bia mo so mo fa kwan foforo so ne ntiti a mo fem no. Eto de bia oti ona say bia say hate no kra ma. Amanfo no monyo so a. Ya say na tie ma mo pa.
For me I see it differently, totally different. Because me who say advantage and them for no, me so me with the same advantage.
Okay.
But guess what? I have something which they don't have, which is I learned something back in the days.
So
the analog way.
So who say be a Kiri, Kwame Eugene, no money, Nkumaya or Mobe.
Yeah. It's me.
Who say only now the same level?
No, for me, I see say it's an opportunity for them to open up the business even more. Because generation be any fortune, any generation be any blessing.
Okay.
And if old generation be no went to me and test our transition last year, be I want to me and tap into the next generation's blessings.
Okay.
Well, dear Michelle, for me, I'll see say me who say they actually came to open a new picture. For every vocalist, once you're a vocalist and once you make melody, once you're an artist, I mean, it doesn't take you out of anything. But then, because it's their time, because it's their prime, and because they have a certain age group, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, of course, they will be ahead in terms of that generation.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who doesn't understand this, there be an analysis. Yeah.
Well, so Kwabena high life you and you know. So we high life you me describe as high life you only have here.
Yeah, not yes, of course, me a high life yeah. I mean, some me a Ghana niba and Ghana your genre name you know a high life and a hip life.
Only Afrobeat musician and Afro artist and only beats.
No, Afrobeat. Now Afrobeat because how old is Afrobeat? I am older than Afrobeats in terms of like since I came into the industry. Okay. So I can describe myself as an Afrobeats artist.
Oh, okay.
Because time
I'm Afropop dance up.
No, me a artist, not me a high life musician. From the time I'm
only Afrofusion.
Yeah. So and
Afrofusion and be artist.
Be a high life musician.
High life musician.
Yeah.
Okay. me yemfa onyum ba kuntie because high life no sisi a brepa ye be die no nkomo kwabna nyumtuni na wie ye no di nkomo studio han me say akasma be aduonu nsia na no nine abo entertainment review peace 1043. This is kwabna. Enjoy this one.
Kanyam take from the side, satting in your pet. Kaihun say, Obimpa. Kenyawa, never else say, depending on Obinia, some show. Kanyam take from the side, satting in your pet. Kaihun say, Obimpa. Kenyawa, never else say, depending on Obinia, some show. Rona meko oni pennia ya atisako ko onia ya odidia onna no chuchu from anyway you kakaide bio papa bia waya ba unia fanasa odia waya munya mio akoka basa danara nya kroma fo I go do my best and leave the rest for the Lord better my ye Sumi na so Drug on crack I say trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not upon your own understanding and yourself a pray. Mr. What more when we were born. Can you take for the side as a thing I get? Can you say Kenyawa, never say, depending on some show. Can you take from the side of something I get? Can you say, Kenyawa, never say, depending on some.
Oh, Brony said one man's meat is another man's poison. Obipe. Hey. Akwe also question who come for you in Tadia go on say.
Sikana toto. Adaya siye kasiti nitwi. FM. Adaya siye $1 ne pound. So se wadawa check you bottom. Grow my head. And you bottom. Opa me say ye unconcern you better. Nyamishrawa ipadi wa yakwa. I wanna say no cross, no cry.
God bless, no man cares. I know human beings, so I don't put my eyes on you. I know human beings, I don't put my eyes on human beings. Take me like that because me now no good. If someone no like, someone like. All human beings they love you. You have to be careful. All fingers are not equal. If someone no like, someone like. Wait a minute, bro. Oh, no, let me drink. If they don't get you, you just say a human being like you. If they get you, there you go see say you. Kwabna studio no hanum say remember na into and come on the show. So when so title there?
We are famisa, we are title track of album nankasa famisa adini.
Ekutia na album no.
Oh, we are sem na maker.
That's all boy ekutia.
One say yenjum high life no ye de kasa and your society mean sem bebresi and sem susia ne anwene ne kasa ne de akonyum to mu ne de rhythm so attach the say be ya utia odi betu honfo enti sanetie bibia utia ne fa ne sa ne satie nyina nyepe obi mpeso obi pe ebia na situation a wo mu no obi nyawaye enti hwe ne ye Sanity.
I mean, Cora and Napana MMC, meant to mom, she, Nianco. Nah.
Say what? You know who I'm talking to? Yes. Really? Papa.
Cancer. For microphone.
But I had to say the Yediko concern. I was so who say this.
Interviews you Diko concern.
And I'm saying, I'm not sure Kutiano.
Ah, dear.
What your Kutiano?
Me na busa myself.
What your Kutiano? Yes, I'm so bony penny. Everybody answer the upon why.
Then winning money for alcohol.
Aye. Tea full song in an tea. A dinner.
A dean or Bobby. Camera Bobby.
I don't know. I say Dean with my mobile.
Let's one Bobby. Until we didn't show and you're not a show.
Ah, so.
Anna.
Una opesa odi din show.
Missy me didn't show and you're not a show.
Bia na una opesa obo we kutie bi. Obi opesa obo bi.
And you know boy a kutia pa. Serious a kutia. A kutia pa. Name they say kabra team come what my boy you say. What must say? Or team come no the boy you know. And to where would tie no. Why would him say chew? A chew. And I was starting school class I said chew. What happened to us? Hey, Miss Adi, why?
Somebody,
Bra, hi, Kwan, I'm busy. I didn't go. Bra, me say, come and say, well, or say, Nyum to na easy. By your challenge with the quality. Miss Rewo, then the quality na come na air can. Because it's not the first time. Constantly, you know. In your interview, you keep repeating quality of music. But then quality now come natural. And who determines the quality?
All right, let me just give you a simple example. You do like Bob Marley's music?
I listen to it, but not really like it because of.
So I done interview no bro.
Pacha Bob Marley nyumwana.
Bob Marley nyumitie pa.
Michael Jackson nyum.
Jackson mitie pa.
Pacha, when was the last time you recorded a new Bob Marley song?
I think say I check because more good songs until we keep listening.
Because I record new Bob Marley song.
Oh yeah, but I need a remix. The me Pacha say a quality song stands the test of time. After 20 years, after 50 years, after 30 years, you still want to play that song in your room. That's a quality song.
So the determining factor of quality song here, you listeners.
Of course, they are timeless music. One case I would testify, say the songs. I remember example. I could always your bonus is here part of the Asia. 104.3. What am I saying? That's quality music.
And the Oka say easy way of making music, no.
When I'm in Peno, example na air quality no about corner no TV
as if you are in my head. So eti me ba be ka say
anu no meja metie for me I stand for the quality music.
But the how make say
quality music.
Eti make say who can quality music who determines it how can say ama music system now very easy no.
Yeah.
Are we heading towards a doom area because it means say obo we what can Bob Marley what go can Jackson what sanka go we see as see and not just say your number of years in this industry future of music from where you sit per its easiness egu and here more quality music in the system.
Monya no me da say cancer.
The omni say in the midst of technology that is when we need to apply the technicalities more when they mention. But then like I'm saying, though we have quantity and a few quality, there's still some quality in there. The fact say be a every na quality near kakrebin, it doesn't mean say the music industry is in doom. What we have to do is to fish out the few quality and make sure say we propel the quality more than the quantity as an industry. And no ebeboa am a yetimi sustaining industry. But then if we want to put all in one pool and we are unable to identify what's quality and what's quantity, that's when the industry is in doom.
Well, what actually want confuse me, but I mean comment him.
Ni chato.
The chato say come na say or a high life musician.
Yeah.
And the come na say odo hu to anyom to fo omo ya de enkanka na amofo ya abai enkwala yi abai me kan kwala in terms of age wise compare with the any industry wise no kidi kwame yuji mu omo yenkwala afi no mu ba adina mu microphone baya na eba no we have life do you compare yourself to them or you can see a measure or performance and the way you are now. I mean your relevance and your everything. I mean you follow us mana. We a high life musician. Omo a high life musician. Unless if I stand to be corrected, bra. Would you want to tour because there was a time you are saying kwalano omo ya there enti omo kan category no one and now ba be hip life. Ba be general for bintina. Are you
see okay, it depends on how I uhuno as a consumer. But for me as an artist, I don't do any form of comparison. I appreciate art and every form of art. I'm a creative person. Inti obia work, I appreciate it to a level. Inti to compare myself to any artist in the world, that's something I've never done. Because I may share what I can contribute, my contribution, and my creativity. But then I identify myself as a high life artist because Ghana said said 80% or 85% of a new material mushroom high life music, and so I'll be influenced by what I hear. Until I make say I am a high life artist and I create according to how I feel. Compare me to Obiano. No, I don't
okay.
I don't do that.
Me that's Italy for microphone and I mean kwabna.
But what I'm saying is because we identify or creative pieces as quality. Do you think say current crop of music users, no whether active or the passive ones, no there is an appreciation for the kind of music you do, and now right now I say what the efforts ni share with dear, but that appreciation na ka wo for us some more time no eni ho bi manada ho.
The appreciation is still there. Honestly, the appreciation it's just that one say like I'm saying, it's a generation now almost support to us on almost and it's rather increasing because there's a new generation who also have migrated and have bought into the craft. There is no problem. The only say the appeal for music, any sanya you're consuming music, a change kakra. People like to dance more. There's a lot of changes, like TikTok, for example. There's a lot of changes about in the music industry and as in the entertainment space. I give you room for every other, but then it still hasn't taken away people who consume quality music. I don't think so. No.
I know microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
First off, me bo kwabna baso na me bo ashes and so abaso. A couple of years ago.
Who is Ashes?
Nana Poku.
Oh yeah.
Kwabna one of the managers.
Okay. Because
me bo na baso.
Obia OT is one qualified. Yeah.
Pacho. Minim so bi enim no bo na wa chem so bi enim no sa onye obi asa. A couple of years ago, and maybe I'm saying a year, let's say 2 years ago, Ghana for be a little bit concerned. Maybe I'm a general observation. I'm here, I don't know. Maybe say one text be on social media, need the KK account, you know. People thought say you were falling off, not musically, but then as a mannerism, you know. And now, out of the blue, no, as we are seeing a refreshed Kwabna. It's like a whole new Kwabna is in the system now. Like as when your new perspective be, you are back to your old self with more. That period, not then and so and then contribute to revival where here is like Kwabna is all over the place now. You know, like then you understand. Then a course and then a Sam BB as I Charlie, you're all over the place now.
Yeah, there was a little break. And then again too, as a creative, no, I need to create my moments to be able to write my stories.
Okay.
You know, but then sometimes when people misread things and people read their own meanings into the omuhu. Like they can just watch something and be able to tell what's happening, and I am unfortunate. But all I want to put on record is I am a creative person.
Okay.
And so to send your Hollywood, if you want to experience a madman and write about a madman, maybe you need to get down to the ghettos to see a madman and how a madman behaves before you can be able to relate. And I am a creative person, so at every point in time, depending on what I want to create, I descend myself there.
Yeah.
I know now, but I'm with us now. We say break or see or break, and but you also go break.
Yeah.
Break for the break set ABA. Now you have issues with maybe domestic issues, let's say family.
Yeah.
Music. Na nyaman koyi. So ABA the tare and you know we are hit.
Yeah.
And said then. Break say be a business be me person me koye me take it when you say break you enter say chichemu.
Truth is I think at a point now I think so there was a break in a lot concerning the label, and I mean some people who were working in a label defected, and there was a lot of cracks that had to be filled.
Label Ben was okay.
Like KBKB Music. Media. Yeah, but then, like I'm saying, every organization, there are times when anything happens, and I say after a period of run, you may want to assess their akoso, any their tosi, any their obetimi abuild, and then again to I had a lot of make us say a little turbulence. I'll say, yeah, it happens in life. I had some turbulence, and I have lots.
Brofuno kano.
The only say anyama was so kakra my brabo.
Na so chibi bo abrabo.
Sa pepe what I say, and it was very important. Say I step back and regroup and put together things and remember that
and this is the what to nyame.
Oh, the woman say Nyankopon adom God bless Ashes and the team. Yetimi put it together Nyama, and we built a solid team now, and of course you making sure say watertight this time.
So I'm not baby but I mean we saw last week yenya Frida Rhymes or Hanum saying na enkomodie we be there this anyum to for nyama bebre ha ya mokom and people creatives even radio the people nyama bebre ayekom and one my who na so chibi bo abrabom at that moment and into will take a break so see I send out the shots your kind say now you see a more refreshing kwabna yes nyama can see any but the way I will see canon, I say and I'm talking about this because say whatever that a CAB course are searching say what to be a yen nan sorry be on be a you kwabna or sa tibien mo be a sa searching Senate here.
Dear American say I'd rather would want to motivate everybody, like every artist out there. Every artist, your greatest treasure is to have people who can cover you. Your greatest treasure. That is until I make a statement. Be say I thank God for a more tighter circle because. At every point in time, if you have people who are not ready to throw you under the bus.
I say obi a be fan to madiakata ho.
Mo
na one mo na man for kura so akwano na hugu ho mo na mehwe.
But then it becomes very unfortunate when the closest people are rather the ones doing that to you.
I'm not free man for say ne hugu ho mo mehwe.
So the American say
yeah, me interpreter.
The American say se Nyankopon ye wadom na sa wonya sa nkrofo ni bi e wo ho a eno beboa bebrebe. Anything I made nyame say for today. I don't want to go to yesterday because yesterday is gone and another day is here. Yeah. Tie de nyame say.
On our floor. Come dem person we say so it means that a man for be no mo ben o. E ka ho na na sa asoche ne koso abrabo mu.
Yeah, of course. That's how boy be ka wa. And na me di ti wan say o say me boy kutia. Ti e de me ko mu nyina no. And na offer me side no.
Yeah. I don't.
No, but at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody must instigate something. Some man for their call.
Yeah.
And see, Kwabena is the instigator. So when confirm ba, you know.
Just a brave man.
Exactly. When you want, yeah, kasi we be katasana so.
Na unsu ko catch man for okay, me yi me hu. I don't go catch man for me hu go na ide.
Ah, well, so
who na ka be fan to man dia kata me hu no so.
I mean, both ways. Mama Kwabena so yin na ho bebre.
Okay.
What you say?
Okay.
Because you want to mean trust to be I mean, your ben on the crown.
Unya tufu.
Anything I'm saying, what say there's a mekase more tighter. What I mean to say is say, me say nti me Kwabena say me ni adamfo. I don't even have a friend.
Adamfo on your own. I say adamfo fine ye. Kwabena.
O yon konti na boy ko tonye 3.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Any pebi abobre bi nti ese hwe yi.
Anyway, they say Tom Lizo.
Yes. I mean, Stroni Oben. Stroni.
Me mom dear, I'm super excited to see the new Kwabena. Until I'm about Ashes Abason because of course a group of guys are on my Ben Kwabena for us to see this day because senior Kwabena is one of the most talented artists I ever Ghana. I remember a couple of years ago, Kwabena performed on Glow platform so in Nigeria.
Yeah, that was a great show.
It was awesome, and sometimes I'm not me near comparison, yeah, but you see the Sina Bena boy more, and Kwabena with what he has, you know.
It's a love and the investment.
You wonder. Inti me mom there I pray and hope say na me hu CCA yin beboa. And because the potential now ukuta no and say wa pagana hu senior.
You go super.
Say yekoye say yekoye omo ko Jimmy Fallon ni Jimmy Kimmel no man say you.
Bro, but ebe na on say me no ka say enkrofo bi Ghana no mo a omo ye promotion me ye nuanu malatafo.
Yeah.
Otias ni sense can be a dema microphone tie be dey sa promotion bisa ashes say ye was $1 ni bi
so ke say man from first can be share industry.
Oh, the woman said
because man from music can say industry.
The woman say ye for no releasing you be the budget back room ani abeche. Yes, you need some budget.
So me who timeless the video yi ni nyomo me who timeless billboard sisi
e wo baby ah
billboard sisi krom bebre
me ne o kase challenge na ba so no TikTok for no bia beje kakra na te say koso of course yeah Apple Music top 10 ebe number 1 you bibia mean we all know why it is
no so nya person che ni say Christianus nya o kana ko
manko
no ni tia mo ni say investment sika
sir
but me feel say na say baby ye do no there say nya o kan about TikTok na wom yes social media but nanke be feel say sisi ansama promotion na for kakra
sir
because at the just even in your home wa betimi akriti bibia betimi age hini ede onyom no be ko ne ade enti na bi so fi se nanse de nka ayefo ananya sanete
ne say ayefo yes but then like you are saying the numbers e won ya obetimi nya averagely on the normal on the average yes people will still use it, they will do what they have to do with your music on the average but then activate yankasa and you get actually people you get it on rotational and not see another level altogether what I say ntino yes ayefo there but we so na man ayefo yi pa ukite ska obetimi afem within a snap you are out
so yenya amanfo bi omudi sika be shem ti say kamia bo papa idin o okay
investment need here
say unyo bi obetimi disike wura creatives mu a ebema enyama betimi akeka sie ni
of course because even it starts with the quality of videos I was here
okay
when would they mention no nti quality no cry che how ni appeal be ni nyina ye investment what you say tino say investment tade na chi a and not so pushing a man ko another level.
The last one on the same issue about investment, I mean, one of the biggest elements in here our industry is funding and investment. The last time I so we see go back and forth because now you to say in as much as you pray for investment and so now most I say we didn't crack.
Thank you. Inti asem no kan ya na inti hu no kan.
Any to aso.
So good.
Yes.
Man, yes sir.
Again, when you watch now say aka say what kind of try?
No. We did my time now.
Me ni watem. I withdraw.
Your goons will come and say me head.
Yeah, I withdraw. But
only me nyadria say.
Oh, there be nyese me no nyadri because asem na kan no.
No, I'm saying say only me nyadria about okasa.
Oh, okay. Metiasie. I'm sorry. I withdraw. But me pacho etiefo omo mu nsim free trotro no mu say no. I still mutimu no ni akwesi kan ya na nya saa ne kan ya se ne amenu an not kan ya no it was a conversation and you raise a two-way your friend say streets the investors this kind of ban attitude of the artist no so no and motivate your momon koso enye that was the conversation in the anka say
Ghana for the whole Ghana cram for your suban bino ebi kasa ba your suban then the entire Ghana Investment Promotion Council and say so how mo say omo attract investors so mo from sika because e be cry to me can by your attitude say your attitude fa e bia
Inti na sama ni e kan that day no we were trying to advise both sides.
Yes, because the Investment Promotion Council
we need investment.
Man attract some face can say
because investment
because attitude.
Because what talent now when you the right investment in PhD baby what say do no. Sabi intimi ndru.
They start again.
Boss. The two of them. The attorney say the attorney say someone so you to say what they forget to Kwasi for now. You focus on me.
What do you forget me how?
No, the woman say we are investor. One, you see.
Asema omokan. Amusi musuba nye.
No, say na me show mu.
Amusi musuba nti man from musika man.
The woman say. Me say
Ghana. Me say the entire Ghana for cry you suba nye.
Asema e kan ya no bi wadwe mo bunfu.
Kamera TV. Share.
Masima withdraw.
Only me nya adwin say Ghana cry you suba Investment Promotion Council. Investment Promotion Council cry mo nam so mo dey attracting man from investment remember. Na mo te hanum say anodine secret. Say anyum to for suba nti mo bi amfa nsika ma be say.
Okay say suba o say
label owner mebo.
Yeah.
Label there one of the responsibilities say we fund the project.
That's right.
Can you imagine say be what discover new talents we person KB music and support no
right
or pumping money into the project or elevating to a certain point now don't see for more patch o e be there
be anyame there
exactly
but okay now you see about
but no ntinu mo we fan sika fa say
no nyaboche
enu ntimi emfa unye
no say me o man kan sem team mama me tio nyaboche now the thing is one
coach Bobo
before you invest in any act me so advice am dey be ma investor bia ni before I will be investing in any act no I was say mutiminya a written document down I bind you be first me pampacha me ba. Two, apart from it no me feel say I was so timi you due diligence about the artist and any subai and any be personally now she say only person me see ni subai to say sometimes otobo asekakra you can be able to tell nipa ne temperament obetimi ehunu senior onipa ko ni subai sitie then you can know how you can engage yourself. Sometimes we get carried away. Sometimes investors get carried away with the initial benefits.
Okay.
Sometimes because most of the issues now up now looks like somebody invested and asemwaba. I am a victim. I am a victim. It's just that whoever it is now wouldn't want to go in because only will be defending her. Because what was spewed out there was totally different
are a victim.
Yes, I am a victim.
A victim of an investor.
I'm a victim of somebody saying, "Say, we're investing with me." Yet that person didn't invest in me. Yet that person rather should be remunerating me.
Papa, logia say when okay.
What's the American say?
Hey, I know. Don't show there. Let's see. After all the
question. What am I saying? Me more be a but then, like I'm saying, conversation. Okay, so what am I saying? Conversation a course so any BBI a course any agreement I want to agreement in it. Like I was rather shortchanged, but since everything we blow it, we want the media, not the source, because the whole thing, the way the whole thing the coin, it looks like the publicity now the most important. It wasn't the source, the substance. Say, okay, is there an issue? Can we deal with it? You get what I'm saying? Say, I was rather shortchanged because at the end of the day, it was supposed to make me look bad in the eyes of the media and to destroy my business in the long term. Meanwhile, nipa no kroba my life when 1 year as 2 years cry. So the reputation I have built over the years. So when we mention it works hand in hand.
Affecting another single. You can name. These are to make. You are no can name.
Yeah.
Affecting as a business person. So being percent.
Now microphone Ben now category. David. Would they use Cabernet? No, use Cabernet.
With the Cafra. And you may 10 dear Bacho. Bra. Dear Kwabna Ken, a dangerous mommy. And in a tighter industry team, our form say aseme ne na wo ka asem na wo kan tisi so ye nyina ye nim de asi ne na wo ka de nipa ne ye wo no ma wo nye dangerous asset to me about investing into you because they see ya wo che say wo mo and why a victim no nipa na e ka de wan nye no when to be unclear ho no ma wo nye bad product you be investing into you ana
say investor bia tie me no ye investor bia owo good heart. So ni obi a wa invest wo no mu enya asem a the first point of call enya radio so we investor now you really wanted to invest in that act, and even if monya issue cry you still have interest of still continuing your investment because monya issue you can resolve it and continue your investment. It is only in issue now. First point of call is to come out there to the public to come and disgrace the person. It means say when you are doing papa. So what am I say?
So great for microphone na minti we. Yeah.
Me da say. And then me for opportunities so na ade bia over the years. E wo me mo acha say Arnold erezi but mention over the years now I pay attention. Me feel say today is the right time for me to say it.
Right.
And I'll say kudos my brother. You've done so well, Ashes. Yeah. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me kai ba program or how one day be. Your point, you know, and him han say any Ashes catch them say, oh, Kwabna, he wants to work with Kwabna. And him ya and no can or can't say him say, hey, ubeti me. At that time, no, na and someone na a wall, no.
Yeah.
So negative say, me cramp on our approach ya.
Yeah.
Make I say, hey, there be artists way there not manageable.
Yeah.
Until maybe say, hey, can you manage? Oh, and then the artist sometimes was some quote unquote stupid yibi vimbi.
Yeah.
Or they can say, well, Ashes is also desperate. Me can't meet him.
Yeah.
And today I can attest looking at the results no.
Yeah.
Ashes I had here.
But I can't say on record.
Okay.
Me obia me react to situation. Me just say man kapa. Intimate me akasa me kwabna ya say me din pa.
Well, I know for another. I know for another.
Really know me. But the only say Ashes. Omo munim Ashes no. Ashes was there from day one. Me started sending music. It is Okacho say he knows why because he knows me.
Oh, okay.
Like onim.
Okay.
Though also like there's so many times first time I share after so many you obviously be some say now it was why I would say some more can say so was why I would be out to you. Also me cry na me why I me say until one some no more can. You know, nipa say nipa din, but then Ishranka Nyame, like you said, and God bless Ashes, Niyama, Ken. I mean, everybody in the team right now. Nyankopon Shambe, baby. I really owe this to you guys, and I love you guys. God bless you.
Yeah.
So okay. Just to take a cue from you, and son I was about to ask. I just want to. Meso pese msuensia kakra.
Oh, okay.
Meso ade bia omu ache pa obade.
Oh, okay.
Nti ene de me hia kwabena.
Oh, okay.
Nana kwa. Ewo mu ache pa.
Nana kwa.
Yeah.
Mo besi otrotro mo ntwen.
Kwabena. Me afimu de me se eboni aye. Me na metima 7 hono. Me share piece of my no. Na me high fee bi ho.
Sir.
Me ho na konti hene.
Yeah.
E dia brantie. E buy me kaipa in fact vividly.
Sir.
Na kwabena shorts.
Sir.
Black. O she fugu.
Sir.
E na oni konti no man to yoko gari. E no mo ba. E no mo ba fie.
E no crop.
Me wure mfi.
Yeah.
Make pictures ni women him say.
What can you say prepare harder?
Yeah.
Kwabena on the buy no say oh na koda ni. Na enyom that time na so enti me moano.
Yeah.
In fact kwabena nsa kuregu nechi.
Sir.
No say bra me de mi hia hwe be say edin na.
Yeah.
And I'm say yo. Ye be ewonyame nsem.
Pepe.
One day me wanna continue etu ni Benz light blue obejina me fie nenim o se okosunyan na me man scan to fu na am say nonsense who cry so those days na am say so obrem payola enyum na me bo no o ma me hwe o zan ba jimi na me ni continue was anti ya agro na ma hwe ni ma se kwabena empo ba be ka se bra saadi ya me ka se asumisi no ba me nchen nti me so me dase anyumtufo ya mo nya de osade no kwabena
bra kwesi me ma odibe mo ho
mo nya de
me ma odibe mo
ntuni ba kun so ada me hia no me kan sa asem na che koku jesi nti woni uso uka ho bi kwa
bra de wo me say
awo mi mu ache
me pa ocha fa che me
ana odo person can be na
yeah me kewi abo
yeah
me kewi because Kobnana Kasa doesn't recognize a continue in the discover no so we secondary matter cry
the woman say
oh me
the woman say
we bro now using e because me pass them discovery no dey me pass ba
the woman say me nyina ba bia enka se continue nya prepare ma da I have always giving him reverence. I've always thanked him for what he's done. Especially Mikakra Sisudia say time where Yakobo aso you know. Big Ben Music rejected aso. Makukweku Mante didn't like aso. Everybody rejected it. And on one kasa no de vim try 50 promo copies. And you start here. I say this every time. But you see, the unfortunate thing is I have never ever tried to explain what actually made me and him split. Men can't baby. Men can't baby. Na men cancel because me appreciated the waya mami. Until whatever happened, I take it in good faith, and I thank God for today. What am I saying? The unfortunate thing is, I am just say, some time back when he reached out to do a song together. I wasn't matured enough. I still had pains and I declined it. I think say no I properly said when you be seen there. But he himself exactly. But he himself so translate very well no obe kind of crutch.
Udi ya was hard no sana episode.
No make I say back then na me matured enough.
Okay.
Na me that so Eddie Yawo what happened because Sebio what happened back then and how we treat him you know say me catch wa bra Kwasi wo cry nya ode but me kan chira e be behind closed doors me catch it. What am I saying? But then like I'm saying, the why am I no some me saying the way yeti ame into me kan wasem. But then I am yes like I'm saying ka when you ma because me kai say yes he reached out and Fred Nyama okay beje obo Fred Nyama to me for say me nyanyum no but then like I'm saying I had you know,
as a pains.
Back then, I was younger. She said, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
And then I remember back with you because,
bruh, Pacho, you better that be fee. Say no.
Come now, I can't deal with radio so. And can't deal by a man who hana sa min can wow say investment no. But what kind of kwan ho? Come now, me go put ya nyom catch a branch and be.
Ma paniche kwan wi.
Said dey.
Afei de dia kan ye be kwa ni fie. So so ye penny. What you say?
Brian de dia ba be kan o he say be a chichi abon ho an ye sane no ni ambo nyuma ntia o.
Christian.
Correct. Bruh. Yeah, they kind. My main boy Abaso for the recent concert we at National Theatre.
Thank you.
Mejimani yepa.
Nice.
Now, I think for one of the first time I've seen you twice performance for last year. Now it's one of time I make us say me who say wankasa as artist original stage no so wa ho fama ene wa ho keka original platform no so the kind of energy and excitement wo mu no e manimpe ba bia ho ina se wono ba beje won wani no won munya won chefa program nase and it then goes to and then come out ye do studio high me who some crofo the new cabra new na me person me who the new no what does I feel ya wo for
but when you say question so come about performance no honestly speaking one of the best cabra performances I've seen personally witnessed a famous 5
oh yeah that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the best. And Minim said because of that show, no. How was he perform? Minim said because of the artist now was no. Because Kojenchi, Amachi, I don't know. And I think now was the first artist.
Yes, that was the first time I shared stage with the greats.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, Kwasi, you have the opportunity to share a stage with great artists like that. You must prepare. Yeah. I mean, I saw it as a great privilege in my very young career at that time to, you know, be billed to play on that stage. I mean, be found the person now, pa.
Okay. Many ajibebre.
Yes.
So na ya na meti new no. Na me pese me hu se bia afa no wafa Kristo se okra na waje nkwa. Ana se
Wafa James Bond.
Say new na ye ka no. New no. If new Kwabra. What is the new about Kwabra?
It's like I mean, there's a whole album. There are a couple of singles out there. I think say in the last 2 years, he released well over like about 16 or 17 songs out there. Yeah, so
there's a lot of work ongoing.
Yeah.
Kwabra, mami bisa. A good commerce why what about investment. Kabra says here say say obi frawo in the table so we say o person kita $100,000 or person invest into Kabra. Can you for 1 minute summarize what the person stand to get from putting that money into you?
Yes, of course. We'll open you to our portals, knowing what we reckon in a year, and then per also investment. No, you can see what you stand to gain annually. What I say, and yet verbal. Say BBI
computer proof.
Yeah, nti me do become a Apple artist, me do become a Spotify artist. Now if you want a revenue that comes in a year, now if you also compare, no I say we investment the bear worthwhile. It's as simple as that.
But so okay, based on our research, way.
So we'll show YouTube, we'll show you. Yeah, exactly. BBI na fe ya projections. You who say, okay, if we put in this, if we put in that, we are going to rake in this, rake in that. Okay, I make X, you make Y, and then you're quitting.
Okay. Nti se mete dia can see here.
Yeah.
Not just say currently with portals there's more revenue that is coming as we speak for investment so between the sika shame.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, pass you better sound common.
Yeah.
Because one who say Kamea quite to say there's a lot of conversation going on about the real figures of what musicians are getting. Vis-a-vis what the social new digital music infrastructure na one and for so they are edema musicians.
Right.
Na and only idea utieti nkomo a e push a lot of investors.
Yeah.
Because said they are all can realistically obia investor be ordinary sika be wura artist mo no or was I who about baby obetumanya ni sika dey free. Because most of the times your systems we are not able to give real facts.
Yeah.
So what I say okay, say na wo ha oba obenya.
Yeah.
Until it's always shrouded in secrecy.
Beautiful. Well say we are going through this because of one reason. It's very simple. As I speak to you, say me be a Apple artist chair. I can say to you, say ASO is still making money. But I recorded it in 2000. I released it in 2005.
Good. Long term.
Ain't you know, for an investor, saying Tia you are not being told what you're going to get right now. And they say we live in an era of fast food music. Ain't fast food music? No, it means say so we invested. Na anyasa big hit within 365 days. That is a year. Anyasa big hit no when Reiki ina. It means that the next one is coming. That form of investment, no, I know they're guaranteed. But then if you can guarantee, say this artist is a timeless artist. We are recording in the 5 years catalog. Time. 5 years time, we'll still be making some streams. If you can testify to that, then that's a good investment. Because over time, that's when you make your money.
Okay.
Not instantly.
All right. No. You here? And I because you better Councillor, we'll be some questions. Okay.
Yes. Okay, because that's why you don't sign an artist. Once honest, so person will run music more on. And so your wife gonna say artists know you're sustainable up to about 5 years. The minimum you're 5 years. Or your artists are obetimi as sustaining home for 5 years. Like who say the growth, no. One can say testify say the growth, no. Until a bit time after 5 years, no. Maybe you guys might have released, let's say, minimum 3 albums. 3 albums, no. Your fun is on the average 12 songs. That is about what 36, right? Okay, let's say 36 songs, no. You should have about 15 or 16 hit songs out of it. It means that artist can play a 1.5 hour show. That is a good investment.
Yes, Councillor, quickly.
But where the name where the Mr. Bisa say what can say there's more tighter if I say new watertight group ABBA. Within the watertighter group relationship tighter water group now. We can't relationship.
I understand what you mean. No, that's one big mistake. Yeah, although Ashes is my brother and all of that, he can tell you. Say when we are doing business, I'm a different person. He knows. He'll tell you. That's what I didn't know at first. So I maybe more, and I relied on people based on trust and relationship.
So I'm not talking about male. I'm our dear and like family.
No.
Is it part of the tighter group?
It's not. No.
Because your former issues nearby now
yeah.
And no can be na water tighten blow to you until what tighten
like I'm saying so
tighten one
so say me worry for
and I make us a bana.
Oh, the woman say if I should marry again, at least I know who I must marry.
But you shame him say
but mean Debbie
and I will nearby be man
no who cry me one
no, I can tighten no.
Okay.
Because
so I just want to move on.
If he
it's a mature say at least
I want to move on.
So yeah.
Bra baby say one baby say bra. Say what this shall be bra. Men 4 years na be. Na me dey and say I be share me. Me say no say. Whether you don't concern me, I ask because no, I want to be part of that.
I'm sure sir when you are from Ashe this week, I think Sanyum Tifon will be a very busy week for them. In fact, I said last week, what I'm saying, a lot of them doing radio, more or less interviews here and there, because Binum Omonium for that video and Omo Kasawa home, BT Sabia Kofimole, Kwasi, Kelvin Boy, Kamido Nomo, Kwame Eugene. I think I saw him doing a number of interviews, and so then Stoneboy and Shatawale. Busy week for I'm Beautiful. So far, be an picky. You can just touch on any of them.
Yeah, so I think, sir, it's going to be very busy from now. If you say Bria copy somewhere, because you be rest some now, and to say no, the air course of crown say there's a planned concert by the artists themselves. And I feel so industry now, so event organizers so booked events, and then we also have awards also coming up from VGMA, Ghana Music Awards Europe, Ghana Music Awards UK, Ghana Music Awards America. Sana ebimu de ya call BET money the monoma na de anti ana there's that preparedness so artists no be person kire ne bobia de obetumi almost singles nyuma ebetumi ama omo stages a omo fans no ebetumi ahuri just excitement be cause more, and for which for me is laudable. In the period I discuss about investment, and it's a sika why you have some of them too who are also raising up self finances a year or moody push over the and I've seen a Rabna dropping the gospel, dropping a new one. It is finished, new singular, or dropping I think on the 7th or this week, yeah. Or drop on, which is also coming up. Quite a number of artists, no be Brinano, drop new singles now that. And for me, it's encouraging. It's very, very encouraging. But I'm hoping, say, effort to be our more play, no, they'll be able to back it with a strong promotional a plan. Because sometimes, no, yeah, now I want a challenge in war. After all the noise, after going around the interviews, TVs, no, kasa ni na we no, we na kwesi as on mapim. They don't have the muscle to be able to push them to the next level. Okay. Because promotion, you know, it's not just about coming on Peace FM and coming to Grand Wire interview and go. A lot goes into it. Into say one planning and strategize and who know what you want to do. And with team, no strategy are more on the grounds. Yeah. Obakwa no oba si train. No oba si. And no sa no. Afibon say you be do somewhere August no. Na fe effort na expected from artists no ina no na ni hobium nti a ho na fe na depression na that they ascertain. Other than that it's a good year, and don't also forget say from the latter part of the year no, there's also going to be politics, and so at the home from afoforo ebeba. I've also seen Nasi artwork, which is Nasi Aseda new song or also Deba. I've seen Mel Addison, the new song or Deba. I've seen quite a number of the artists, and all women now just a bigger releases are coming up. You expect it, said they'll be able to put up a good plan for the year 23 ending, and number to maybe in a year power with political season entering through 24, which is going to be very exciting and challenging. Okay,
Councillor, so busy week for a year and you to phone be what my shas here. Send a second who say yes, I fear no a very interesting. And I'm saying,
M said, dear me who says here and say, I see to say, me name the SETI born rolling, but I just so be BB. I don't know because I know see emoji the okaya. O ma hu say wa ko you can go failure auditorium. Me no ka say geometrical. We fi chrome starting it all. Enti they have me kakra say bra. Na say local tour na hu ni fa so sa na den. Me can local tour me say okay local na say man kan ye dia. Like me wo Kwasi mo Sunyani mo Takrade mo Cape Coast no hu ni fa so sa. Enti say Europe, say US. I mean, I said the question is can I was showing nyama no like if you're on the bill you go and then yeah bomu your personal to be omo ye me who be I see where me who fly be just so be I invite we say bebo we but do na me hu nyina ye personal to because
most of them have personal event and so they need to market themselves to allow people buy the ticket to watch their own event.
And I make us senti obi a set ball be rolling obi the bibia to obi team and my industry no be more vibrant and ye ko be ye ti we interviews are will grant no any auditorium abe feel it any nyama abe no susan so my ya ti ya be kan wasem SS and say O2 arena obi a feel it 21,000 and obi a 40,000 now o call the same place now corner the crofo 30 e ko tena ho ye be kan.
Okay, so just I mentioned Raso. Have you followed these artists? I mean, like I'm saying, this week,
past years.
No, this week. I mean, starting from like last week. Medica was on a number of radio stations granting interviews. You've seen Calvin Boy, Kwame Eugene.
Shut up.
Yes, Omunina interviews, and so it means that I don't know why I quite say. I didn't know I said a clash bisa.
And I make us obi be atu omu team na. Zana me bisa no. Is that same say Stone Boy made the to Stone Boy ni Chatawale call the same place. Like yan chemo bia but bibia sia na no bia eko. Obi di bibia atu obi team no obi person obi bibia na. Sana bi obi ko na bibia anko yi a ye kan anko ye hwehwani mu. Babra is the best because yes, ote wade so. Enti se omo ko out in the year 2023. No speed be the omo for them to go and make a headway and bring proper record down there, marketing Ghana, making other things work. Well, let's begin to agree to disagree. Say no correct. Ebesi. We wish them well, but majority of people there kono menti your managers inka. Kamia quite to say personal game no mu yesi ana bibi esi o bibi ayenti bibi ase ana
medasi
bibi koso mayenti ase bo mo kona anye ye no mo ba e mebo ba so msanko biom
medasi Arnold
good observation. Yes, say artists no almost obia call radio TV for one interview or the other.
Yeah, but
the point is, why would artists not call radio and television? Two things. Omoko because they have something to promote.
Sure.
Na no one. Obeka a couple of years ago. Na artists bia person mo change say traditional media na dey.
Anya hwe.
Yen here you better social media, your fans nya social media and promote. In the last couple of weeks, based on your observation, me observing no, it reinforces that notion say, oh, after all no yen here.
Oh boy.
After all, no, you win here because, and I'm not saying this to disregard Ubia, but for somebody like Medica, a larger part of the career has been, or your mom fees our school of thought and say, oh, yeah, dear, social media and they projecting you to this point, and so see, you sa portal no dear in here traditional media, but here he is, our project has been virtually everywhere. Every high profile, low profile TV radio station piano, he's there. So it tells you say, yes, social media as a platform no a key a dispensation but don't let anybody so I keep insisting say open nationwide validation and as open nationwide acceptance you cannot do away with traditional media. Because statistics will say, just a percentage, just a little percentage depend on more social media. Into where your artist and also your artist handler now, what some because oh, with their social media pen now with their a year away their 40, you are lying to yourself. And this is the evidence I because one guy I don't know his strength, you know, yeah, and you know what I also realize now, no, for content purposes, because now the guys have more YouTube channel or more TikTok channel, and so they try to create content out of or call three music we are not So be safe in the car by the time from where be safe in the car not the friends saying plastic bottles 20 a bottle. Now you understand from the car are to be near content. PSS Osifi from pay by the time be safe in the car to be on pay you be try net an IG page content. Inti one they are meaning so I don't know about no but I think say they know. Because someone go be to promote Nkwana Kwasi, radio and TV station are a part of promotion. A critical part of promotion. So any the key is almost the first point of promotion. Because that's the avenue a bit more allowed to actually reach out to a lot of people. You get. And no, yes. And now they come to the realization they cannot do away with that. And I'm glad. Say now they are all over the place. All over. And even taking advantage to actually build their own content for their individual portals. Listen, what about times I say, you're lying.
Secret. Microphone.
Yeah. Kwasi?
Yes, sir.
I'm say, a Juma idea. Sometimes, no, and near maybe it's me my focus so called one side be one. You qua no when you be no catch us say to was say, if no can in your boom. No one said no wajabi ujabi nti no aba faka ho baby I was say no say artists atiesim na omo ko all over the place at said Ecclesiastes kind is nothing new. That is how it used to be years ago. And na ye jaye and na bia obi ko fa baby social media bi and na adum bi dum no nti no feel say the other side na adwuma ne ho so the other side of the adwuma ne so ehun hia biem se ne ya bedru baby ya dru ya make say hallelujah the same old story from the past. Now musicians there we you be all over baby obenya wo your friend say o market e wo bia na obekọ ho inti say ne omonam all over Kwasi. I think say that is the right thing.
Okay, so me jam so now we magic a few so and I'm sure say Shatawale album me pie me boa. Title ne den
Mali. Mali you say Mali Maali.
Dan Kasan.
Minim kra.
You see abbreviation for me alone and life ironies. And also
okay.
Me alone
and life ironies.
AALI. I'm sure say Brepo may be a bit up and OHB. So okay, quickly. Besi I do two if boom. You don't two if boom. So Shatawale and Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy is really the track list of the fifth dimension. That will be the fifth studio album. Oh, but okay. First, I mean on Shatawale. I'm sure the questions may be okay fine. Emoji album, what happened to it in the other day? I've seen some of the reasons I'm so
GOG and emoji.
Sorry, the Bediane GOG album. Say clearance from some of the artists who feature on Muntinama album not channel. But whatever it is, my favorite I'm a boy on that particular. Meaning so when you break some of the songs on the album, you know the album.
Yes, Meti.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your favorite Nidia?
There is one incredible inner real life. That's my
inner real life.
Yes. Yeah. And no my favorite.
Okay.
On it.
I'm looking. Oh, yeah. Okay. Inner real life.
Yeah.
That'll be this one.
Say she want to touch it. Say she want to ride it like a pony. Me say watch it. Girl problematic. She say the one that style systematic. No, you know me, so be careful now. You sorry. Call me worries, I go get you into trouble from you know. You never did it for me, so and you coming for the glory. So me never I go make it. Tell me what you watching now. They but TV and you watching every chat you see me tapping. Me never copying. It was a man piling dollar notes. Lace up Givenchy. Used to defend it.
Okay, all right.
You see, but when him, I dear back home, it will be out of place. But I wish we would discuss this one day on these album releases now. Me who say shatter the ato were post to about Apple Apple say eno ne number 1 me check your Apple no na say o download and $10 so say ahe yes I was excited but me tie wo audio mark personally me ntua bibia I just played and listened nti ne me bisa me ho say how come say me ko baby a me kwa koto
okay
na one side e me nyam no ba bi so free is it not against the business of the industry because me tie ne 3 times the whole album I was driving I just hook it up I play but me tie bibia obi be kasi data whatever but me call Apple no so I use data what am I say yes but no your side be a come and me say look this should be one of the conversation as you have about industry nankasa. Yes. Why can I stream for free when in one side no they are called to hosi and tongue? Let's look at it. Anyway.
On cafe dimension
was it?
5th dimension one country Stone Boy.
Me baby I'm interested one.
But
I'm sorry.
We are not doing because
I understand.
We are talking about.
I'll take time to listen. But AB Amiti Ameda.
We are fucking. Arnold.
It's a cancel see na
yeah. I thought say I no.
Kwasi man redraw.
What's that?
Me can be no was it?
Me man withdraw.
This is an insult.
No, because me man withdraw because I somehow kind. So I same time so you're fucking.
It's a political statement.
No, it was not a first statement. You should rather withdraw.
Yeah.
Me I should withdraw.
You know how
it's a therapy.
Oh no.
It's a therapy.
Man yes sir.
To listen to music for that music to be able to put you to sleep.
So okay.
And yet
remember chance we've got idea be na be asem. Why can say one year final we be na fie ba be chance.
And you know something the little things we say they pick it up.
No, but I know na ya asem no I mean that is na asem.
Inti careful.
I'm careful.
No, this particular one you're not careful.
Opinion kasa
you're reckless.
That's a reckless statement you made.
So just did. No, you were reckless.
We know who say ensem hu.
Yeah, this one is
Obi kasa now say ensem hu.
Yeah, one kasa ye.
Ready.
Apart from the fact say yeah discussion now why bias say we me interest me kasa we me kasa.
How do you even talk
then
about
you also add that one to it.
Say me hwe me tia meda. Yeah, man, yes sir. Boss, first
we are down industry no. We down industry
now. We have friends touch bearer. This is a simple question. Wait here about what's it mean? Me interest we about me tia meda. I mean, what kind of loose talk is that? Are you withdrawing or we should continue? Senior, mebo. It's not a nice comment to pass. Say me tia meda. Na me dey me interest we mu. Na ye dey.
Masa kawa se mo.
Me try na withdraw. Boss, me 2 artists na baso. 2 of our biggest artists, Shatawale and Stone Boy. Na sometimes Wale are very unpredictable because not baby na the GOG album also. Album back home. Now indeed if o comment na part say clearance into their any problem kakra. Because senye and the one time raise GOG album make I say listen can you wish quite done that no the way of train you more and release no a part of the marketing strategy and see for me me find says our explanation I say as be a feature my senior clearance a part of otherwise maintain you get because our clearance no a part of you need to clear it even before the person walks into the studio.
Yeah, sure so far you from Sarkodie.
Yeah, because the artist must even need say if the artist is working under a label, unless of course we're independent artists, because okay, Charlie, let's go do. But say artists are all under label, and our management no be clearance. You get that clearance before artists be call studio to
because before I be feature no. Yeah. And you no be na Kwame Eugene say okoya akolai photocopy am say
asem. Yeah, you understand. It's enya fair every album no mum na obi be want me excuse say me nya clearance so I can't release it. That's it doesn't sit well with me unless of course they're part of. So for me I think say this one came as a big surprise. Okay, a couple of days before I'll be releasing an announcement in the buy. And I'm really excited about how our Ghana for assume, especially SM4 no. And I'm not surprised SM4 there. I mean, the DBBBR once it's from the icon don't be assume. But my biggest way no AF identify more as SM, but almost so album no more. Thankfully album no chart a lot of charts and so no. My boy Mabaso and also my boy Wale so Abaso for his ability to produce such a good album most of the charts. Most of the streaming platforms no? So and see why I think that we need to do more. We need to do more. I mean yen promote album no yen kasanfa ho na enko where it's supposed to be, because we see if you share the exploiter other albums from other nationals na I mean Wale should be doing more, and it depends on yen as supporters to push it.
And I think so Kenya, right?
Yeah. I'm say waba in medical show be or say WhatsApp benso or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it's supposed to be. Artists moment the level of activity in a chill, because once you release a project, you are supposed to be out there doing interviews, going on tour, doing that, and that's what the guys are doing.
Yeah.
And I think some people here your support, and just exactly what I also CCR. You can watch some na push album na sell na who there. When it comes to marketing, I think it's Stonebwoy, you know. I say to me Bonabaso, like his ability to draw attention to be you know, or no any whoever on the team no, they are doing something magnificent, because from last year as Stonebwoy started to go international shows, local shows in it's like there's a way he or engineer BB to actually fixate the attention on him.
Yeah.
And and you see who time away by Angloga album. Almost every album be drop piano. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a marketing strategy towards the release of the album. It's every mechanism or every step of the way be out the release album. They're making money, many news, and track listing, the release of even artwork. About that album cover, so it has to be. There must be something about it. You understand? And for me, I think say and these guys are learning. NAM they know they are actually learning from the best, because outside you know. They draw attention to the album be found, and before we release artwork and there's a conversation about it. There's a maybe some in Konyaka Krabi in Konyaka okay next week you be release track list you be release album cover. There's always should be some anticipation to be about BC, and Stonebwoy knows how to deliver on that aspect. And I did about the woman. You saw how Ghana for Nyajitum.
Yeah.
It was virtually everywhere. I don't know any portal or individual person here now one post to. Because of how attractive or money
yeah.
Because once it catches your eye, you have no choice than to do what? Publish it. And so for me, I think says Stonebwoy, big ups to him and in the team, you know, for the ability to grab our attention from the time of Castle album Nebeba, time of release track list, album cover till now. And by the time our album no crowd officially will be no, everybody's excited about it. So big ups to him. I'm sure say drop here, he will chat or also be chat Davido or release the album up all over the place. And that's how our artists should also do. And my official read about pre-order is in place, so you can actually pre-order. But official release, I think, say 28th April, and official will be releasing. Shout outs to all of them. I think they are doing well. And more fan base, respective fan base, for their support.
Unfortunately, a time when I say this, you are not saying yeah, sorry. The other issues we are not APC doing come on. National Film Authority for reaction over there about the Spike Lee and come on here. But question is, near the chat cry, young why?
Yeah, because I think Shatter and Stone. There were plenty. Dudwana and if his CD's exit was actually going to maybe affect his management skills and other day, but he's really proved to be tough. So far, so good with Stonebwoy. The systems, I mean, and like Arnold said, the consistency in terms of marketing, kind of fast will generate their attention. But maybe he's trying to be relevant, even when he's not here. That say I remember a Dano a soldier for evangelism was shamani. Regardless, he tried as much as possible to tweet something. And I saw people talking about it. Ni Nanu goes to see show the level of strength I wore as artists on your home and as well as also on the foreign front. When it comes to president of JJC, Shatta, I think sir, the fan base, it's time everybody the SM movement. We need to see the movement people, everybody rising to the occasion, promoting the new project. I want to see more noise because he's got the fan base, he's got the strength. Breakfast no. Oh, nechita for no ho. One mu na so ye irrelevant. Nti who be nya say SM fans ni na mo am London, mo am Australia, mo am baby bia na dey ahoden no e be share chiri na we push ma. It's a very good project.
Okay,
I really salute them. See ochina ye lanche Ohima Matilda unyame ado album no Watersana Baptist. Nti mestres ochina mu na no mo support ye. Ma dwumadi na enkoso e wa ha ya ochina ni 3:00. Mestres mo ba support ma dwumadi no. Akoso kama pa from Kofisa Pon Ohima Mercy PCS Star Ohima Clement Jakalolo me and Sopoku, all the lies yeah mama Abnasa wo Ophelia, they are all coming to Lady Ophelia or then in Kunim dia but they are all coming to support the project tomorrow.
May I say so great, anything yeah we chat here.
Well Kwasi make can say minua damfo biye ne yire nso afri mu.
Oh
yeah, and then yeah in 1 week.
Oh.
A year in Babasu 6th and 7th May.
Wow.
I was Saperman into Wayne and Kai Bokakra.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Any stuff?
No, it's fine. Let's move.
Okay. It's for my ID because Councillor Luttrot is lost. That's why it's out of.
Okay. No, I was not sleeping. I was waiting for him to come. He didn't say anything.
No. On that, Pacho. On that, but why busy on the phone? So
no, I was waiting for you to call. I was just writing something and then.
Yeah.
Well, at least Mz Kwabena Kaso can album as some says them say business then singles in Puna album na Abainti Stoneboy Shatawale na Stoneboy sana kwesi na se kano. Every bit of team you bed dropping or see I will be a co studio or chile bibi no. It tells you say boys no musu ade no pa and I think there's an employment to go for di omachi no. Because first no bra boys made di omachi who sa ba see ade di omachi a they're giving us the content back to know where they are, what they are doing. It's good. The album is big. I think there's a clearance in Tina Gini Empire near Yantu Abas in Embra Nia but we are bay ye be the agrosa ye because album ye train still boy so diano. I like the way the thing is going. Ubia and your BB yeah. Ama beef sardine eba from kakra ubia di near ta ejumabia oh yes so wish them all the best dear open follow na ko tie but we SM fan kra ugo tie Stoneboy kakra we Stoneboy fan kra we tie we kakra na my FS so it's good. I think they are keeping us better in this economy. Say Obibia we can play with yanko ye support one impact but we wish them long life. Bibianko Yema, I think they should all get up. And I like, especially medical, it's always been quiet. But you see, I think the apim now was sorry no. On to us, Sana, Memonko, that this is can they sustain it? No, all
right.
Now, why how the Tom Queen any Jomi Jomi Ginger Honey Chips because system na your door. Abua secret. It was with my bow. I said,